It's another episode of the show. I am Harry. To the left of me is Tyson.
Let me talk to you.
We have a, interesting week of wrestling to cover. Got some Raw, some SmackDown, and WrestleMania 10 for a wrestling rewind. But first of all, how are you doing, Tyson?
Pretty good, pretty good. It was, you can definitely tell it's WrestleMania season, so that's always good.
That's true. Yeah. Got the surprises, so to speak.
Yeah.
But anything interesting in your neck of the woods?
No, not not this time.
No?
Nothing surprising. It was just a boring old week.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I guess no news is good news.
Yep.
So, well, since we
I know, right?
nope, don't have anything. Okay, well, all right. Well, let's just go ahead and jump into Raw, okay? All right, so we're going to Tampa, Florida, and immediately Jey Uso arrives, and he's facing Bronson Reed, which kind of seems like a step down to me for Jey. I mean, it's a good opportunity for Bronson. Step down for Jey.
Well, they were both going for a title, so they had to go to do their face to face.
All
Or,
right,
he said, "You're in my way."
fair enough. Imperium arrives, and Gunther is going to be single-handedly. He's going to single-handedly do to Kofi what Kaiser and Vinci couldn't do together, which makes my nipples so hard. Bailey is also there, and then fresh off a Royal Rumble victory, she is assumably going to be challenging Ripley, but we all know better, don't we?
Yep.
And then Cody Rhodes is also advertised. Exciting Raw. So immediately CM Punk comes out, and Punk is in a sling. He looks all sad, and he stares long and hard at the WrestleMania sign, just like really forlongingly. And he cuts the ultimate babyface promo. You know, he says he came close in the Royal Rumble, but that only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. The better man won, and he's proud of Cody, and he hopes he finishes his story. This arm, it looks worse than it does. It's just a flesh wound. The real fight, or the real warriors, are cancer fighters and people who fight fires. And he also says he doesn't really believe in luck and stuff, but he feels cursed. And you know, he came back to the Royal Rumble, tore his tricep, and he knows that WrestleMania is not in the cards this year, and he wonders if he'll ever main event a WrestleMania because he's no spring chicken anymore. And you know, he even thought he could suck it up and tape up his tricep, which I thought was funny. Like, what? And you know, get his little WrestleMania moment via Elimination Chamber, but it's just not going to happen. It's just not meant to be this year. And he even brought up his UFC career, you know, because he said he calls himself the best in the world, not because he wins all the time. And you know, he said, "You saw my UFC career; it wasn't pretty, but you know, somebody gave me the opportunity, and God damn it, I stepped up because it scared me. And you know, coming back after 10 years, that scared me too. And then I had to leave. And then WrestleMania, it also scares him, and it's a goal he's probably going to have to live with for the rest of his life now. Because this torn tricep, it's a flesh wound, and you know, he brings up the firefighters and cancer people again. And he puts over the fans and the working people, and he says he's not going to focus on negative people, and the people who tell him he can't. He says, there's always next year, and he's just got to keep doing what he's doing until the wheels fall off. Is that the gist of it?
That is the gist of it, yes.
Okay.
And hold on to that line, by the way. There's always next year, because I think we're gonna have to bring that back up at some point.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two. So yeah, you sent me this story. It broke that CM Punk got injured in the Royal Rumble. Uh, the internet doctor said it happened on a Future Shock DDT. So that's when McIntyre was still in the ring. So he still managed with a torn tricep to eliminate McIntyre and then do the what 10 minutes with Cody at the end.
Yeah.
So good for him for being able to tough that out.
Well, Punk's a OG, so like he finish a match with a fractured skull or some shit.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, if I remember correctly, he did I can't remember if it was a superplex or something in Ring of Honor, and the person fell on it. They collided head to head, and he fractured his skull. I can't remember if he finished the match or not.
Well, if it was in Ring of Honor, I definitely don't know.
Oh well, I think it was in his documentary.
But yeah, now I saw when during the Royal Rumble, I happened to see him do like there was a moment where he was like talking to one referee, and then there's another referee that came around and he was waving him off or whatever. And I saw that, but I didn't mention it because I'm not a doctor, so
Right.
not for me to be speculating what was happening down there.
Well, this would also
But I was
explain
like,
why Drew McIntyre just whooped his ass.
yeah, but I thought it was off. I was like, he sure has been down there a while, and there's another referee talking to him. Something he may have, he may have.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it was an awesome promo. Just his facials and the emotion. You can tell like he's really bummed out, and he said he can heal, but I'm just a I'm just a pretender. The real heroes are the people that have to work every day and shit. So ultimate babyface. Punk is an old school wrestler, and I love him for it.
He is that.
So, anything to add with Punk?
Nope, but yeah, there's always next year. We can run
Yeah.
that Seth Rollins match next year.
Yay. So, as Punk is talking about how he's not going to let negative people and the people that tell him he can't bring him down, Drew McIntyre interrupts. And then Drew McIntyre enters the ring, and Punk is holding a microphone like it's a knife, which I thought was kind of funny. And then while Punk cut the ultimate babyface promo, Drew McIntyre cuts the ultimate heel promo. He tells Punk that, he's been talking a lot of shit since Punk's been back, and he meant every word of it. But McIntyre listened to Punk's promo, and he can relate to just about every word he said. He's been fired. He had to leave. He's known sick people too. He's had to deal with injuries, all of it. And then Drew says that he doesn't know what he believes in, and he isn't much of a spiritual person, but he was up all night after Punk eliminated him at Royal Rumble. And he couldn't sleep. But then he heard the news of Punk's injury and that it happened at Royal Rumble. And he was able to sleep like a baby because he prayed for it. And it happened. And the crowd boos.
Yeah, such a dick thing to say.
It
And
was
it was good for him.
it was great. I prayed for your injury and it happened. He said he targeted CM Punk and he assaulted him. He says Rollins is broken down. He's taking the belt as far as he can, and he could not let Punk be the one to take it to the next level. And then Punk eliminated McIntyre, and he was so pissed off. But yeah, he heard about his injury, and it made it all better. So then he says, "You won the battle, but not the war. I exercised the demon CM Punk." And then McIntyre basically announces that he's an Elimination Chamber combatant. He says he's going to the main event WrestleMania and live CM Punk's dream again. Well, sorry, McIntyre.
We don't know yet.
No, we do. So Punk says his heart hurts more than his tricep, and he's going to rehab his tricep. He's going to come back. He's got a main event WrestleMania one day. But the first thing on his list is Drew McIntyre. When Punk is healthy, he's coming after Drew. And McIntyre headbutts CM Punk, and he stomps his tricep. And then he gets in CM Punk's face as Punk is screaming. He goes, "Scream for me! Scream for me!" Love it. I'm such a Drew McIntyre fan now.
Yeah, he is operating on a different level right now.
Oh, it's great. So then little tiny Sami Zayn comes out, and he fends off McIntyre. And McIntyre grins and tells Sami he's too late. And then, as they're all tending to Punk, McIntyre goes to the apron, gets on his knees, and just watches like a fucking rapist. And
whoa,
it's true.
Goodbye to that video.
Oh, we'll be all right. Sami, he helps Punk up, and then, yeah, Zayn and McIntyre are announced later. It's great, except for Sami. Sami was just the third wheel.
Back, and he's already going after Drew McIntyre.
So what'd you think?
I mean, I thought it was, yeah, McIntyre, he's operating on a different level. So I loved everything I saw. And I was even thinking about it before it happened, like before Raw, when I saw the news and saw that it was on the Future Shock DDT. It's like, they should really have McIntyre like come out and rub it in his face. And they did, so
well, and
every minute of it.
And I know I've been a big proponent of Gunther, and I would love to see him be the one to dethrone Rollins. I think McIntyre should have faced Rollins this year at Mania. I think he's earned it.
Yeah, I think it was the shoe-in before things got shifted around.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
now things seem to have changed.
Just a bit. Well, anything to add?
Well, now I don't know where you go with Drew McIntyre, honestly.
Like, I don't either. Yeah.
That kind of just...
Well, Sami and McIntyre, that's the only thing that I think unless if they don't do it at Elimination Chamber. Well, what the fuck? What's the Elimination Chamber going to be for?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
It's motherfuckers. See, they don't think about this shit. This is what we'll get there.
Yeah, they can figure it out. They got time. They got
3 weeks. Oh, the Elimination Chamber is going to be for the women's title. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what they do at the Elimination Chamber. I'm sure they'll figure it out though.
You can either challenge for the Intercontinental title or the US title.
Yeah, exciting. See, they can do that.
Exciting.
No, they can do it for the Intercontinental or
Who
the
is
US
the
title.
US champion?
Logan Paul.
Oh, that's right. So, okay, so you can either lose to Gunther or lose to Logan Paul.
Yeah.
All right.
And Logan Paul seems to have a new opponent lined up, as per what they announced on SmackDown. So
Oh, did okay.
maybe yeah, that just leaves Gunther. So
Well,
IC title for the Elimination Chamber.
well, when you cover the Logan Paul segment, you can tell us all about that.
Sure,
Because we know I didn't watch it.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sad because McIntyre, he's earned it, man. He's probably like, I think he might be the best heel right now.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
I mean, Roman's a heel too, but he's different. I don't
Roman
really,
is. Yeah,
I don't really look at
he's
him as a heel.
he's more. I don't know, tweener. Well, no, he's a heel, but he gets
Yeah,
more cheers than boos. So
but he's not. It's hard to describe him. He's not evil. He cheats.
he's just on top, is what he is.
Yeah, he's on top and he knows it, and he's an arrogant bastard about it. McIntyre, he stomps on your injured tricep after injuring it in the first place.
Yeah, a dastardly heel, as he should be.
Yeah, and then tells you to scream.
Yeah.
Ah, gives me goosebumps. Good job, McIntyre. I used to fucking hate McIntyre. Now I'm interested. Like I'm looking forward to what he does now. So he really turned it around for me.
Yeah,
And
he's
it
much
doesn't help
better
that
as
he's
a
a
heel.
big, yeah. It doesn't help that he's a big Scottish son of a bitch too.
Boy, is he! He looks like he's a prototype.
Yeah,
Just how big he is.
he looks like the chosen one.
Yeah.
So, all right. Enough dick riding on McIntyre. So the Judgment Day, they have a backstage segment. They're watching everything that McIntyre was doing. Ripley says they don't need to worry about McIntyre. And Mr. Money in the Bank, he's content with losing to McIntyre on a technicality last week, I guess. So then they bring up Bayley and how stupid she'd be if she challenged Ripley for her title. Ripley says she's not worried about it. And they say there are no more distractions. They're reminding everybody who they are, starting with DIY tonight.
Yep. Everybody's getting too comfortable challenging them.
Yep. So that brings us to DIY versus Judgment Day. DIY did a To the Ring promo, which is awesome. Again, just wish they'd use it on better people. And the Judgment Day, they won with a Razor's Edge coup de grace combo. DIY basically threw everything they had at Judgment Day. And Finn was actually the gutsy one of the group. And then they brought out R-Truth so they can do the little tease of him joining the Judgment Day, but then McTurd ultimately attacks him. Miz comes out so Judgment Day can reassert their dominance on the talk show host and comedy act. And then I think we're setting up Truth and Judgment Day. I'm sorry, Awesome Truth and Judgment Day at Elimination Chamber. Or God forbid, WrestleMania.
Yeah, I was thinking, is this the WrestleMania? Like, is this really what we're doing at WrestleMania? Hopefully, it is at the Elimination Chamber to get it out the way. But
Yeah. Because that means it'd be for the titles. Think about it. You had the Usos versus
yeah,
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens last year. And we've regressed to the fucking Judgment Day and the talk show host and comedy act. Just
yeah, it's not a very big payoff, and also it's way of a step down for the Judgment Day.
oh boy howdy. The whole thing has been a step down for the Judgment Day. They have been so desecrated.
Well, you got your payoff. Now
How's it a
that's what we were
payoff?
building to.
Miz and Miz and R-Truth coming back together. That's the payoff. Are you gonna
No,
look forward to?
did you hear the crowd when they officially kicked R-Truth out? Crowd hated it.
Yeah.
That was, that's to get them back on track, I guess, as a dominant heel faction.
Mm.
So you got your setup. I keep comparing it to what happened with Sami Zayn with the Bloodline, but much smaller scale because it is truth.
I think it's apples and oranges because Sami Zayn made me want to watch. R-Truth didn't.
Well, that's because you don't like truth, but I like truth.
No,
So.
I like Truth. I think he's funny. I just don't think he needs to be with the top heel faction trying to give them credibility. That doesn't give them credibility. It takes away any credibility that they have. The fact that they would even be concerned and mess around with this guy. They should have squashed him like a bug on day one. But instead, they've been fooling around with him for almost an entire month. So, no. Apples and oranges. Sami Zayn was somebody that ingratiated himself with the bloodline, starting from, Jimmy Uso all the way to Roman. And he helped them win, first and foremost. He didn't cost them matches.
True. That's where truth had to go.
Yeah.
But it got them some heat, so that's what you want.
We'll see if it lasts.
But the payoff, it's got to be more. There's got to be more payoff than that. Maybe they're gonna do this R-Truth Miz thing. They're gonna get crushed, and then whoever helps them, that's your big moment.
Who's going to help him?
I don't know, some tag team. What about the Creed brothers? They have been off
Again?
TV. Yeah, they've been off TV. They've been silent. Well,
They
no, I'm
just
sorry. They've
wrestled
been
them.
on TV, but
Isn't that who they just wrestled before DIY?
yeah, but you need a team.
Really, you need to recycle them that fast? They just got there. How do they get 2 title shots? They've been there. They get more title shots than they've had matches.
Or there's no one else. I don't know who. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Anything else to add with all of that?
Nah.
All right. So we have a women's tag match that I didn't watch.
Oh, this tag match was Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. For once, they didn't get the death spot, and they faced Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Two takeaways from this: Chelsea Green got her announcement back, so she got her. I'm not going to do it, but the Chelsea Green thing.
Chelsea Green.
Yes, I just didn't have the voice for it right now, so
There you go.
she got that back, and then she also got a pop when she got tagged in. So there's that. She's connecting with the crowds. Maybe she's turning face. I don't know. But Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler did what they do, so they won.
Yeah, they're clearly in position to be the Kabuki Warriors' next challengers. I think.
Yeah,
If I were reading the tea leaves, I guess.
Maybe that's what we're building for Mania.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because next week, so we got Chance and Carter again. So they're not going to do it next week, and they're racking up wins, so it's a slow build to a match. So maybe
it's not a
that's
slow build. That's how they do it. Oh, they're winning matches, so you know that they're either being positioned to challenge for a title, or they're doing something.
Well, the weird thing is that they're winning. Like usually you don't even have to win. You get a title match that you because they don't have that many tag teams, but these two they haven't got a tag team match yet. They just keep winning. So what are they holding it off for? They're just building up more wins. Now, unfortunately, they've already gone through pretty much the division, so they're gonna have to do a
Yeah.
tag team match because there ain't gonna be no one left.
I don't think they have enough women for a tag team.
They do,
I mean, they have
but it
enough
would have to all
bodies.
be on one show for one, and
They have enough bodies, but they don't have. I'm talking about talent wise.
they could. My thing is, you can't just be a tag team 1 week to get a title shot and then break up the
True,
next week.
Natalia.
Like, yeah, we need you to get some uh be a tag team for at least I don't know 6 weeks. Then you can be called a tag team. So
Yeah,
like Carter
you
and
need a
Chance,
name.
yeah, Carter and Chance, they've been like tag team for years, so they're a tag team. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, they've been a tag team. They're a tag team.
The only
Away.
exception is when like Austin and Shawn Michaels when they tagged for a minute and they won the belts. And I think either Michaels was the heavyweight champion and Austin was the intercontinental champion, or vice versa.
Oddly, I don't remember that.
Because it was very brief.
Oh, there you go.
Or maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't win the. They tagged though. It was awesome.
I think you might be thinking of Triple H in Austin,
No,
the 2-man power trip when they had all the gold.
no,
No,
it was
okay,
Austin and Michaels.
okay.
I know they tagged. It was very
Okay,
brief.
I believe you. I'm just, I just don't remember this moment in history. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I don't remember it.
Yeah, they won the. They briefly teamed and they won the tag team champion. Yeah, I'm not high. I am high, but yeah,
Hey,
I don't have a date though. We'll move on. I was right though, fucker. Don't ever doubt my wrestling knowledge again. Say I was right.
you're right.
Say it.
I said you were right.
Yeah. Okay.
I said it the
So
whole
Cody
time. You
Rhodes,
were right.
no, you said I believe you. That's different. That's patronizing me.
No, I was saying I believe it. What else could I? I was saying I believe you. Why did you not believe that I believed you?
Because that's something you say like, I believe you. That's what you say to the your woman. Okay, you're right. Okay, just move on. I'm done talking about this. I believe you.
Well, if you believe it, then
Anyway,
what else can you like?
because
If I really believe it,
you
then
don't
what else
really
can
believe
I
it. You just want to move on.
say?
All right, Cody Rhodes. He comes out. He gloats about winning the Royal Rumble back to back. He even has what's her face do her nasty entrance again, or her announcement again. And then Cody says, "It's up to the fans." Wait,
Of course, he says, "What do you want to talk about?"
well, yeah, that too. I don't know. Oh yeah, he says it's up to the wrestlers to. I'm sorry, I can't read my writing, even though it's on the computer. He says it's up to the wrestlers to help the fans, escape their shitty little lives for 3 hours a night. But sometimes the wrestlers they need to escape too. And the last few days have had their ups and downs, but the fans will never know how much Cody really needed him at the Royal Rumble. That was really sad because he cries a bit.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. He didn't go into it, obviously.
Yeah. Either he probably just was excited of winning the Royal Rumble again. I don't know. Maybe he was excited to finish his story, because at this point in time, maybe he was under the impression that he was finishing his story.
Well, according to the reports, at this point, he was finishing his story.
Okay, so there you go. Then Cody, he's about to go get down to brass tacks, and then Seth Rollins interrupts. Rollins, he congratulates Cody. They shake hands. Rollins says it's a mistake to challenge Roman. Cody should fight Rollins instead. And the crowd, they don't want that at all.
Yeah, they
They're like,
started booing.
no. Yeah. And Rollins like, yeah, I get it, but hear me out. And then he tries to say he's the guy and how his number 3 belt is better than Roman's. And Seth says he's been main eventing every show and defending his belt while Roman hasn't. And then his title is FUBU, while and was created because no one can take Roman's, which that doesn't make a good case. Like, we had to create this belt because no one could take Roman's away. And he asked Cody if he wants the Hulk Hogan title for posers and frauds or the Dusty Rhodes blue collar title. And Cody says he respects Rollins and he's going to have to think about it. And I laugh my fucking ass off because there's no fucking way that Cody is wrestling Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I'm Nostradamus here.
And the one thing I said was, "Oh, how nice of WWE to give us." Well, I thought they were going to drag it out a little bit, and I was like, "How nice
Yeah,
of them to give us material." They're like handing us. Welcome to wrestling media. They're just handing us stuff.
right.
Like, here, go talk about this stuff. Here, here's your videos for the week.
And the thing is, we've seen Rollins and Cody before. There's nothing exciting there. There's not, and with Punk, I'm not excited to see Punk versus Rollins. I'm excited to see Rollins versus McIntyre, or not Punk versus McIntyre. I'm excited to see Cody versus Punk. Not so much anything with Rollins. So him interjecting himself with the Cody storyline, trying to say he's better than Roman because he's been wrestling while Roman hasn't been around. He doesn't main event. And then he went on to say that his title was made because they couldn't take Roman's title away.
Well, I see what they're trying to do,
I do too,
what
but
they
it
were
just didn't
trying to
work.
do, and what they are trying to do. It's like, yeah, they're pretty much saying this is the workhorse title. This is for the internet wrestling community who wants to watch melty bangers every week. Oh, who's he gonna defend the title against? It doesn't even matter who's the champion. Oh, let's get Ricochet a title match so we can get our bang. Oh,
Yeah.
let's get Kofi Kingston. That's the workhorse title. And then over there on SmackDown, you got Roman Reigns. He's holding the real title that people actually tune in to watch. Not your little banger titles or banger title. Oh, there's another banger coming. Ricochet versus Vikingo. That's gonna be a banger for the heavyweight title.
Yeah, but
Not even a possibility, but you get it.
what's a Seth Rollins match? Since he's been, world heavyweight title, I mean, he hasn't really had a memorable program or a memorable match. Sure, he's held it a while and he's wrestled a bit. He's the opposite of what Roman is, but Roman, he's wrestling the marquee people.
Well, Seth Rollins is revered amongst the wrestling community and the banger people as
Mm-hmm.
a good wrestler. You know, wrestling moves work great. Rah rah. He does the little spinny 5-star splashes and all that stuff that the wrestler people want. Well,
Eh,
the modern wrestler people want. The old school wrestler people, they just want like psychology and boy, I'm really marking up here and I haven't said it yet. Allow me to mark up a little bit. So yeah, Seth Rollins, like every year Meltzy puts his top wrestlers list, and you got Seth Rollins top 5 every year.
mhm.
So that's the appeal. They want to watch their banger bombs.
I've never been a Rollins fan.
Like you got people talking about, oh, if Seth, let's bring Rollins and Okada banger bomb. Oh, what about Will Ospreay banger bomb? What about Kenny Omega leaving AEW, coming over to WWE and wrestling Seth Rollins?
Yeah.
Like they just want their wrestling match.
Okay.
But yeah, what they're trying to do is they're trying to draw the line. This is that title. This is the workhorse title, which
Well,
is
then they're also trying to make it seem like Cody has a choice.
he did at that point. No, he didn't.
He
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 did, but
didn't.
he didn't.
Right.
Like I said, they're just trying to. I don't know.
But they're trying to, because Cody won the Royal Rumble and he can choose either, Roman or Seth, but they already said that he's choosing Roman. Well, Seth came out, he's like, "Whoa, wait a minute. There's actually two people in this decision of yours." So they tried to make it seem like, "Oh, no, Cody really does have two choices." They didn't try to make it as cut and dry as, "Oh, no, he's going straight after Roman." That's what they tried to do.
Well, Seth Rollins did say it, last year when he won the Royal Rumble, there wasn't the title around, so it is different this year.
No, it's not.
It is because there are two titles. I mean, I get it. If you're holding a title, you
It
want
would
it to
it
be
would be
the title.
it would be different if it was McIntyre or if it was, anybody. But Cody's been saying that he wants the title that his dad held, and that's the one that Roman has. And he also has history with Roman, and they, been talking about finishing his story all goddamn year. They made a video game out of it.
They sure did.
So he didn't have a choice.
I still think.
Anybody else would have had a choice. Punk would have had a choice. McIntyre would have had a choice. Gunther would have had a choice. Not Cody.
Well, why couldn't he make that the title?
Because that's not the one his dad held.
Neither is the one Roman has.
Yeah, it is.
No,
It's not the physical title, but it's the lineage.
no. I mean, maybe it is, but he has the Universal Heavyweight Championship, which is a new title that was created out of the old title.
The WWE title, the WWE lineage is absorbed into that title. It's not the World Heavyweight title.
Well, I'm saying Cody Rhodes could have.
I know what you're saying. It's a different belt, technically speaking, but still the lineage, the one that Hulk Hogan held, the one that Bruno Sammartino held, is still tied into the Universal title. It's not in the World Heavyweight title.
But it doesn't have to be. If Cody Rhodes won the heavyweight
It does,
title,
because that's what he's been saying. He wants the one that his dad held,
I know
and that's the Universal title,
Cody Rhodes,
technically.
if he holds the heavyweight title, like he could just say, "Hey, this is now the WWE title. I'm retiring this title, and I'm
No,
bringing back the title that because Roman Reigns doesn't have the WWE title, so
he
I can
does.
take that."
He had the WWE title and the whatever the SmackDown title was called.
Like if you're talking about the WWE 2K game, if you go into the title list, that title will probably say vacant because no one is holding it right now.
No, if you go on I think the WWE website, Roman still has two belts.
But he walks around with one now.
He does. But he has 2 belts because it's 2 fucking belts. He has 2 lineages.
The Universal title doesn't have a lineage. It actually has just as much
He's
lineage as
WWE champion and Universal champion. That's Roman Reigns. And then you got the World Heavyweight champion, which is Seth Rollins.
which has no lineage, but it should have
No.
lineage. If you want to give it
But
lineage,
you
now
can't.
it has.
My point is you can't have Cody Rhodes just saying this is the WWE championship now because Roman has the WWE championship. That's his belt. Regardless of what it's called now, he combined the 2 belts to he megazorded it.
He sure did.
Now if he wants to say that the WWE champion or the heavyweight championships on par with Roman's 2 belts, I mean, you can try that, but that goes against what he's been saying. He says he wants the WWE championship because that's the belt his dad had. That's been his whole thing.
Yeah,
And if he goes for the World Heavyweight Championship, that contradicts what his whole mission was.
well, I don't know. He doesn't have to win it first either. I know
No, he doesn't. You're right.
like I know it takes away some of the story if he wins another title before he wins the world title, but other people in history have won another title before they won the main title.
You're absolutely right. That I will agree with you on. It does kind of diminish it a little bit, especially. I don't know, man. How long is this fucker gonna hold the belt?
Who, Roman?
Yeah, that's the only thing.
We'll talk about that a little later.
Right.
Yeah. It might not be
God
too
damn.
long.
Jesus Christ. Well, anything else with Seth and Cody?
No, I just think they made a good case for it. Now, did I expect that he was going to choose Rollins? No, but they did make a good case for it. And I don't know. Maybe we need to start putting some respect on that title.
Maybe,
except for the fact that Roman Reigns buried it on SmackDown, but
we'll get there. Oh, we'll get there. If they gave it a better, because there's no story with that title. Like Rollins had a makeshift feud with Damian Priest, which for some reason he never cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase at all during that run. And then he feuded with Nakamura for a little bit. And then who else did he feud with? He had the open challenges. Like he hasn't really had anything.
He's just been defending it, apparently. That's his thing. He's pretty much just defending it.
Roman, on the other hand, he's defended the belt against his cousin, who defected against the bloodline. What else did he do?
Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Braun Strowman.
Yeah, he had the thing with Braun Strowman.
Are you talking about his whole run?
Oh, I thought that's what
okay. Well, yeah. All right. Well, yeah, okay. Still, that still proves my point. I mean, Seth, I'm just talking about this year because I think that's only fair to Seth. But Roman's had more stuff that's interesting and compelling. Seth has just had matches. And while those are, I mean, they might be good matches if you're a Seth Rollins fan or whoever he's wrestling, but I don't know. There's nothing that just, I don't remember anything that he's done.
Yeah, it does need story, but we're getting story with the other title, so again, they're trying to differentiate. So there's it's just the workhorse title.
Yeah.
just defended all over the planet. I don't know.
Oh well. Well, Jey Uso and Bronson Reed are next. And Jey Uso, he won with an Uso splash and a shit ton of super kicks. And I thought it was a pretty inoffensive match. It was, dare I say, it was pretty darn good. And I actually like when Jay did the little 3 super kicks, and Bronson kept coming like a zombie, and then the third one was just a straight up ninja assassin kick.
Yeah, Reed's. I don't know why they put him in this spot. I thought maybe he could win a little bit more. I'm high on Bronson Reed. I do like
Yeah.
just a little point or a little thing. His entrance, and I don't know if I. Well, no, he hasn't had an entrance in a while, so this is new. His little new entrance is like a. I don't know. They linking him to like a Godzilla, where he's like,
Oh, that little graphic.
yeah, he's like destroying the
Yeah.
buildings and.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Now, there's one little touch that they used to do in NXT that they need to bring back. So when he does his stomp on the step, they used to like do a camera shake, like he's shaking the earth.
Oh, that's nice.
They need to bring that back. Yeah.
Yeah. Or pyro or something. Or not pyro, but the
Yeah, something.
yeah. So Pierce is backstage. Udiliolo is on Raw now, and
Andrade.
whatever. He brings Pierce, or not Pierce. He brings Aldis in to gloat about it, and then Aldis and Adam Pierce, they start measuring dicks.
And I like the little dick measuring contest that they're having.
I guess.
They're like, they're fighting over all this talent.
Here's my thing. It's ever since Aldis whipped out his cock in front of Roman and said, "Mine's bigger." I can't do a British accent right now. It's like someone said, "You know what? We can't have Aldis be too much of a badass. Let's cuck him out a little bit."
He's too much John Wayne or.
Yeah. Can't have that. We can't have somebody that's entertaining, and can't have a man on this show.
Well, maybe he hasn't need to do anything yet.
Okay.
But yeah, they're just signing all this talent, and the
Which
two
I
are
hope that
fighting
that
over
means
it.
that they're not doing the draft.
Well, I was thinking if they're signing all these people now, what first? Yeah, is there going to be a draft? There's going to be a draft. I can guarantee that.
Then what the fuck's the
And
point?
there's definitely going to be a draft. My thing is, if they're calling all these people up now, what are they going to do? Like because the Raw after Mania is supposed to be the big moment where all the new debuts come out, or
Mm-hmm.
that Raw after Mania is like, oh, what's going to happen next? It's like the big reset. So if they're calling everybody up now, who are they going to call up then? Or are they not?
I don't know, man. Baron Corbin.
Who apparently is doing good things over on NXT. By the way, Vengeance Day is tomorrow. Maybe watch it.
Maybe.
If I if I have absolutely nothing else to do, then I'll watch.
Isn't the Super Bowl tomorrow?
No, it's the Pro Bowl.
Oh.
And first of all, the Pro Bowl is a sorry, people in the building. Stay with me a little bit here. The Pro Bowl is a flag football thing now. So it's not even
Are you
tackle
fucking
anymore.
kidding me?
Yes. And I still might watch that over NXT.
I don't blame you. Honestly. But god damn it, Roger Goodell has just killed the NFL.
Well, people weren't interested in going, and then they didn't want to get hurt. They make too much money now to be taking hits. So, I don't know. That's why they did the flag football thing.
Mm. All right, whatever.
They
I
weren't
don't
hitting
watch any of
anyway.
this.
They were just in pads. until
That's
the fourth quarter.
still. Why would you just flat out make it flag football? At least let them put on pads. They're going to Hawaii, or they were going to Hawaii,
Yeah, they don't do that anymore either.
and it was like 70 to it was, it was basically flag football anyway in pads.
Yeah, I don't know. They're trying to Peyton Manning and Eli Manning. They're trying to save the Pro Bowl. There's a big thing about Peyton Manning is like trying to. I don't know. He took over the Pro Bowl committee or something like that. Some kind of
Yeah.
committee that he took over, and he's trying to like save the Pro Bowl because it's when he was in Hawaii. Two things that they sorry chat we got to go here. Two things that they changed: moving it from Hawaii and moving it to before the Super Bowl, so the Super Bowl guys can't even play in the Pro Bowl. I think they should move it back to after the Super Bowl, and then also move it back to Hawaii. But yeah, anyway, thank you for allowing us a little bit of football talk.
So Kofi versus Gunther. Gunther earlier he cuts a pre-match promo in the back, and I felt that it was directed specifically at me, to be honest. He says that people they talk about the New Day, they always talk about pancakes and bootios, but one thing they never ever mention is New Day wins championships. And Kofi, he lies to us and says he's beating Gunther tonight.
Yep.
But he stared directly at the camera towards me. He talked about pancakes and bootios. So, good job, Kofi. And Gunther, he cuts a promo on a set of stairs, and he wants to speak to Kofi, who's heading into the biggest fight of his life. He says, "You're fighting for your name, your legacy, and every accomplishment you've ever made. You'll remember this night for the rest of your life. But I'll forget you after this night's over. And here's some advice. Leave it all out in the ring, because after I'm through with you, no one will be speaking about you anymore." Love me some Gunther. So the match starts, and they go maybe a minute or so, maybe 2 minutes, and then they go to a commercial. And I hate when they do that. I I don't know why they can't do commercials in between like the little promos and jaw jacking segments. Like they always do commercials when a fucking match starts.
Of course, that's their little thing.
Yeah, I hate it.
You start the match, you do a big spot, and then you go to commercial, and then come back from
It's
commercial, and
awful.
then you
And and then they do multiple commercials in the match, and it just takes you out of the match.
This one had 2 commercials.
Yeah, I
Well,
believe so. Yeah.
they were commercial free for the first hour, so then they had to make up the commercials.
Well, what I'm saying is, do you have to do it in a match? Why do you? Okay, you're a wrestling show. Why are you doing your advertisements and the thing that you're supposed to be? Why can't you do commercials when you're doing fucking the Kofi's Bootio segment or whatever?
Well, when are you gonna do it? While he's talking?
Maybe before he
No.
talks, you zoom in, do the commercial. It makes more sense than starting a goddamn physical contest and then going to a commercial. And it's more realistic. What are the fuckers supposed to do during the commercial? Just sit there?
During the pandemic, they actually did. Apparently, like, when they went to commercial, they literally just sat there and waited.
No shit.
Yeah, and then as they were coming as the thing was starting to turn around and fans were gonna start coming back, um and this is the only reason I know because there was a story that He Shall Not Be Named, uh, started an edict that you gotta start working through the commercials. Like, well, what the hell were they doing? Playing blackjack?
Okay. I wonder if there's footage of that.
Yeah, they're just like sitting. Oh, Like, yeah, what were they doing during in that time frame?
Standing on the ropes.
I mean, I would sit down if I was. I mean, if I'm a wrestler, yeah, I'm sitting down.
Well, what were those screens for? Is that just decoration?
No, they they were. I don't know if I don't know if you could actually see because I never even like attempted to try to get in there, but I didn't know if
Mm,
you can like actually see what was happening through the screen. I think it was just more for your face.
okay. Well, that's dumb.
And then you have those. I'm surprised no one like had sex on one of those. Like you give people an inch, they're gonna they're gonna take it way too far.
Well, maybe they did, and we don't know about it because they got to it before. From the way you made it sound, it was very edited. So
Oh, it was apparently like you couldn't. You had to sit in like one spot. You couldn't like move to a different room or they're gonna cut your feet.
Jesus.
Like you don't try us. You'll be banned for life.
So Kofi he starts off hot on Gunther, and then Gunther hits a backbreaker, and he proceeds to beat Kofi's ass. And Gunther tossed Kofi into the ring apron like a sack of shit, and the back of his neck like hit the apron. It looked really, really painful. Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise out of nowhere, but Gunther rolls out of the ring. So I guess that's his thing now. He'll he'll take a finisher and then he'll just roll out of the ring.
He's outsmarting his competitors.
Yeah, his ring awareness because he's the ring general. Kofi hits an SOS after reversing a clothesline, and that gave the belief that Kofi might pull it off. And then Gunther he plays possum, then nails Kofi with a clothesline, then does his drop kick, and he power bombs him for the win. And Woods comes out, check on Kofi, and then Vinci and Kaiser they attack Woods while Gunther laughed.
Yep, he didn't do shit.
Nope.
Now, what are they building to here? Because I kind of got the feeling that someone's gonna have to come and help the New Day. Like, is Big E coming back? Is this what we're building to? A Big E return? Or is it going to be option B? And the person I think that's going to be the adversary, because I guess we'll get into it here. There was a note, or there's a story that, Brock Lesnar got pulled from all future events, including WrestleMania, because he likes to watch women pee. And
Yeah.
and so he was it was
Well, here's
mhm,
can I the thing was, or rumor has it that he was supposed to eliminate, or he was supposed to be eliminated by Dominic Mysterio. And that was supposed to set up a match in Elimination Chamber. But Brock was supposed to ultimately wrestle Gunther at WrestleMania.
correct. So
Oh,
now
I thought I was dropping some knowledge. My bad.
Oh, that's what I was going to. So yeah, so now Gunther, since in light of that and Brock liking P videos, um,
Yeah.
where he could have went to the hub and got that free of charge. Anyway, um, so that
Without even asking for it.
yeah, maybe that's the difference. He needed to ask for it, but they do have the web girls on there. You can ask them that there.
No, what I'm saying is that you see the P videos without even looking for them.
Oh, yeah, they they throw it at you.
Yeah.
You just got to be on there 5 minutes. You'll see one.
Yep.
But yeah. So Brock Lesnar got pulled, so they leaves Gunther opponentless because that was supposed to be Brock Lesnar's spot. Now the story is that um, we The initial thought was Pat McAfee took his space in the Royal Rumble, but it was actually Braun Breaker.
It was.
He had the Brock Lesnar spot. So now they said it was like a supposed to be move for move, but Braun Breaker was spearing everybody. I don't think Brock Lesnar would have done that. F5 maybe, but yeah. Anyway,
He would have suplexed people. Yeah, either way. He would have spammed the same move just like Braun Breaker did.
yeah. But anyway, what I'm getting with all that is I think Gunther's opponent at WrestleMania 40 will be Braun Breaker. And I think it would be a good spot for him. And also, I know you're going to not like to hear this one. I think he should beat Gunther.
Okay, I was with you until that. I think you must have hit your head earlier.
No, he beats Gunther. You get the
Why?
title off of Gunther so he can move on to the heavyweight title picture.
Mm, no, I don't like the idea that Braun Breaker comes in out of nowhere and beats the greatest intercontinental title holder of all time.
Well, you got to have someone beat him if you want to move him on. If you don't want to move him on, you
That's
keep the title on him
that's
and
not true.
keep going.
Well, first of all, I think they should keep it on him for a while. I think if anybody needs to beat Rollins right now, it needs to be McIntyre. If you're
I agree with
unless
you
you're
there.
going to commit unless you're going to commit to Gunther 100%, leave the IC title on him. Let him be a dominant IC title holder. Unless you're ready to bring in the Third Reich. Because you really need to commit to that. Because he needs to be big. Otherwise, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, I do think, yeah, McIntyre definitely needs a run before him.
Right now, yeah. He's more compelling, unfortunately. And I love me some Gunther. I think Gunther's the greatest wrestler right now. But I think Drew McIntyre he's hitting it out of the park right now. And Gunther already has a title. But I would rather have Gunther do the Ultimate Warrior path.
Yeah, see, I don't like that. I know a lot of people I've heard that a lot, but I don't like it.
I just want his first loss to be special, you know?
Yeah. Well, so the Ultimate Warrior, as the story goes, he relinquished the Intercontinental title like the next, I don't know, the next night or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like Gunther has spent 500 now days as
600.
building up this title to just give it up doesn't make sense. His whole thing is about bringing the prestige back to this title, building it,
He
and then he's just gonna
Yeah,
give it
but
away.
it's not even that. Like he's built it up so much, and he's been elevated so high that, and no one's going to take it off of him. That the only thing he can do is forfeit it.
Nah, I would rather see him put someone over. Now they would have to follow up with whoever gets put over, but
Mm-hmm.
I think I would rather him, painfully to say, have his have those shoulders on the mat and take the pin.
That's fair.
But
We'll agree to disagree on that.
yeah, a lot of people do say, just him hold the title until he challenges for the world title, and then yeah, the
I I just think,
intercontinental title.
well, he's one of the few undefeated, technically undefeated people in the WWE right now. And if he holds the belt, the Intercontinental title for 600, 700 days, no one can beat him for that title. And then he just so happens to win the World Heavyweight title. And he relinquishes the Intercontinental title. I don't think that diminishes what he did. Like, nobody can beat him for it. And he obviously can't hold two belts. And that way you you still keep that win streak. So when somebody does beat him, because obviously somebody's going to beat him. He's not going to go 100-0.
Start a Goldberg-esque undefeated streak.
Right. Well,
Oh,
and
I mean,
he's
at this
not
point, in
because no, because he's not. Goldberg would, 30 seconds in, he'd hit the jackhammer.
yeah. I mean, that's Braun Breaker. I feel like he's a believable. Like people were saying, Chad Gable was going to be the guy, but we've both said it. He's too far from that now. Too
Oh
many
yeah.
losses. There's still people who think Chad Gable's going to get the spot. Like, no, he's done.
Ever since Tozawa with his chips came into the picture,
Or even past that, it's just all the losing.
well, that too, yeah.
But you got Braun Breaker. He had that good showing in the Royal Rumble. He's so far been built like a beast. They even made a point on commentary to point out that when he hits the ropes, he hits it at 23 miles an hour, so he's faster than Tyreek Hill. Like they're trying to make him a legit guy.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't like the idea of gun. Just like you said, he has built up this run and this prestige, and it's all going to be wasted on this kid's first match on the main roster at WrestleMania.
Oh no, not first match. He's gonna build up a little
Or he's
bit.
going to have like a squash match beforehand.
Yes, squash everybody. Squash everybody. I want to see him squash. Get Omos in there. He squashes Omos. Like build him up like
No,
Goldberg.
fuck that. No.
I know he doesn't. Goldberg looked like a real man, but I don't know. You can create
Yeah,
him
that's.
like a beast, and then it would be believable. Because
I think
outside of
that's my
that,
issue with Breaker. He looks like he's pretending to be. He looks like he's playing a real man as opposed to being a real man. And
I don't
I'm
know.
not saying that he can't break me in half, or you know what I mean. He doesn't look like he works under cars or
I don't know. I get the opposite. He
goes
looks like the
mudding.
guy. Yeah, I just get the opposite from him. He looks
Okay,
like he spends his time fishing, get the hooks and the bass, throwing the
he might go
lure out,
fishing, but he doesn't like go. He doesn't go on a raft or something. He goes on
overalls.
a fancy boat.
No, goes out on
Yeah,
overalls. Got the mud
no,
shoes
no,
on.
no.
The mud's all up
He,
to his
he's
knees.
got the fancy Oakleys and the polo shirt
Ah,
with the expensive equipment.
the trucker hat. That's on my side though. The trucker hat.
That can go both ways.
The Yeah, like the little performance shirt that has a little flap at the back. Yeah, he's touching his bait is alive, I should say.
No, his bait's not live. He uses those little gummy things. You don't want to get his hands dirty.
No, he
In
probably.
fact, he's probably on one of them boats to have like a chef on board so they can eat.
Well, he is banging Cora Jade, so that might be true
There you go.
because she does seem like like needing air conditioner on the boat kind of girl.
Hmm.
But no, he's
Yeah.
out there. He's out there overalls, got the straw hat, maybe.
See, if Braun Breaker was a real man, he'd be with Piper Niven.
Or if you ask him for pissing videos.
And say, bitch.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part.
Like that. And it's funny that that part made it into the story too.
Oh, I'm glad it did.
Like, it wasn't enough for the pissing video, but then you call her a bitch.
Yeah. Like the audacity.
Yeah.
Pee for me. I don't know if she did or not, but just the just the temperament, bitch.
I didn't get the context
Uh,
of the bitch stuff. Like, I didn't. Yeah, because
well, he either called her a bitch because she didn't, or he called her a bitch because she did. Either way, it's funny.
well, it sounds like she did, but was it like, thanks, bitch, or was it like, you filthy bitch?
Bitch. Either way.
Like, what was the context? Was he nice bitching her?
Uh,
It seems like he'd be like a nice. Oh, thank you, bitch. Like it's.
no, he seems like he'd be the wife beater bitch.
So yeah, felt
I wonder what Sable thinks of all of this.
well. He never met her, so there's that.
Well, he could have.
But he didn't. He intended to, yes, but
He may or may not have seen her pee.
okay. But again, he could have just said that was the hub.
That was the hub.
Yeah.
I texted somebody on the hub and then called him a bitch afterwards.
Oh no, I was on OnlyFans. Yeah, that's it. I don't know if that's better or
Okay.
worse.
I think that's worse.
Yeah.
So there's another women's tag match. Since good thing we were talking about Lesnar before this. I didn't watch it.
Um, this one was the Kabuki Warriors versus Natalia and Tegan Knox. I don't even know if it was for the title, but Kabuki Warriors won. It was just to get the Bailey segment set up.
All right. So Bailey comes out and she talks about how awesome damage control is and how her plan's coming to fruition. And then she's about to say who she's going to challenge at WrestleMania. And then Ripley comes out. I spoiled it. Ripley comes out and she says, "You better keep my name out your mouth, Bailey." Nia Jax comes out, takes out Ripley. She does a bonsai drop to Ripley. And then Jax stares at damage control. Now, keep in mind, damage control is the EO, who is the women's champion. And then you have the two tag team champions in Asuka and Kari. And then you have Bailey, who is going to presumably challenge Ripley. They're all afraid of one Nia Jax. And everybody leaves but Bailey. And then Nia says that she can pick EO or anyone else, but Ripley's hers at WrestleMania. Or no, she says that Ripley ain't making it to WrestleMania. So thank God it's Elimination Chamber. And then Bailey says she'll make her announcement on Friday. And yeah, I got a real issue with all these champions just bailing like little bitches.
Well, I did
I
at
know.
first,
Okay.
but they I think it was more so them abandoning Bailey, like let her fend for herself. So I think it was part of the whole story of damage control, you know, not being there for Bailey. That's the way I took it.
That's fine, I guess. Wait, might as well get to it now. Well, no, we'll get to it on SmackDown. SmackDown will be brief. Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre is after that. Sammy's picking up where he left off at WrestleMania by wrestling, where he left off before he got hurt by wrestling a rematch. And then he cuts a promo earlier where he talked about his feelings. And McIntyre in his promo earlier said that Sammy's never beaten him and it's not going to start tonight. And McIntyre, does he always do the white noise?
It's part of his arsenal, yeah.
It is okay. This just happened to be the first time I noticed, I guess. I thought they were doing because he said, "This is how you do it." So I thought he was like calling out Sheamus. So I thought Sheamus was going to come back.
Well, he is due time to come back, but yeah, he doesn't do it often, but he does do it. Yeah.
Okay. So McIntyre won with a Claymore after blocking a hell of a kick and hitting Sammy in the dick. And then, yeah, McIntyre had great psychology. I love when he was counting with the referee when Sammy was outside the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And then he noticed that Sammy was going to get back, and he just stopped and fell to the mat and rolled out of the ring without taking his eyes off of him. Just great. Good shit. Wasted on Sammy, though. Boy, is Sammy falling from grace.
I think there's still more for him.
You think so?
Yeah. And
All right.
everybody, let's not forget. Everybody's talking about, oh, what's this person going to do at WrestleMania? What's this? What's their marquee match? What's their marquee match? Let's not forget. There's that very important Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Not forget
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
that's
So
true.
that's 20 guys right there that's going to be in that.
So
The very
Shinsuke,
prestigious.
Austin Theory, Grayson Waller,
Yeah.
Chad Gable, Otis.
So yeah, we don't have to worry about everybody's WrestleMania spot. They're going to fill it up with that thing.
There you go.
Very prestigious thing that is. You get the big trophy. You get to talk about it for weeks.
You get the big trophy that'll be broken the next week.
Yeah, someone's going to break it, but you get to talk
Yeah.
about it. Not once has it like launched anybody's career, but this year could be different. You never know.
Didn't LA Knight win?
He won the Slim Jim Battle Royal,
Oh,
not to
that's
be
right.
confused with
That's right.
the Andre Battle Royal.
Oh. Well, anything else for Raw?
No, I think we can move on to SmackDown. But before
Yeah.
we do move on to SmackDown, don't forget, we're on our way to 500 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer each week. Thank you guys for hitting the subscribe button if you have. If you haven't, now is your chance. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. And if you feel like chatting, because there's a couple people in here, if you feel like chatting, go ahead and put Cody or the other guy. Golly. I had it and then I lost it. Anyway, Cody or Rock. Go ahead and spam that in the chat, whichever one you are on the team of. And yeah, that's it.
Rock Nation or Team Woe?
I lost it. So
Okay.
I had this all planned and then it just fell kaputs. And I'm going to try to do a poll. Let's see if we can do a poll. I'm not going to. You keep going, though. We're not going to, stop.
All right. Well, we're going to Birmingham, Alabama for SmackDown. And we find out that Roman's in the building with the rest of the bloodline. And Cody and Bayley are supposed to make their WrestleMania decisions tonight as well. And Logan Paul and Kevin Owens had words.
Yep.
This is your part.
Oh.
I didn't watch this shit.
Oh, so yeah.
I know that Owens beat Theory with the right hand. I guess Kevin Owens is a knockout artist now.
Well, let's step back before we get to that.
Okay.
So yeah, we start the night off with the Roman segment, and then in the ring we have Logan Paul. He pretty much says that. Hold on, looking for my notes here. Kevin Owens put up more of a fight than Floyd Mayweather. He said that. And then he said that. Still looking for my notes. I'm going off of. Here we go. So of course, he said that he's the most stable person on this, or no, he's the toughest person on this brittle roster. And then he starts,
You said brittle?
yes,
Okay.
he said, I'm the toughest person on this brittle roster. He said, oh my, and he said it just like that. Oh, my tricep hurts. Oh, my little knee hurts. So taking a shot at Seth Rollins and CM Punk there.
Well done.
And then at this point, the crowd's what chanting him. So he says, I'm unbreakable. I'm unreckonable. And they're whatting after each thing. I'm one of one. I'm the beast from the east. I'm the best in the west. And then he says he's the champion. And then out comes Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, he congratulates the ref. He says that the ref did a good job. He did his job, and an applause for him for catching me using the brass knuckles. I cheated, and he caught me. Good job. Also, you must not know who I am because I am I'll do whatever it takes to win. I'm not sorry for using the brass knuckles. I shouldn't have got caught. So that was Kevin Owens' takeaway. And then there was a Logan Paul said he wasn't going to get another match, but he's going to sit on commentary while Kevin Owens wrestles Austin Theory. First time ever match, of course. Not really, because that happens like every week.
Right.
And then Kevin Owens, he beats Austin Theory. He
Of course.
used brass knuckles, but this
Oh,
time he
okay.
learned from his mistake and put the brass knuckles up.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I fast forwarded just him hitting him with the right hand. I didn't see the brass knuckles.
Yeah, so that was the gist of it. So I guess we're slow building. I don't know if it's going to be. My suggestion would be WrestleMania, but we're slow building towards a Kevin Owens and Logan Paul rematch. Um, I've seen some people online suggest maybe it happens at Elimination Chamber, and then that way you can actually have Kevin Owens win, and then that'll give him something to do at WrestleMania. Um,
Why not just have him do it at WrestleMania?
because it frees up 2 spots.
What do you mean?
So, like, if he takes the title at Elimination Chamber, he can go into WrestleMania with a United States title match, and then Logan Paul can have his marquee match, which he doesn't really need the title for, and then you get 2 matches out of it instead of just the one-on-one.
Okay, who are they going to wrestle?
Um, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay, well there you go. I mean,
I know. I'm just
if you got something right in your lap,
why not go with it?
yeah, instead of trying to manufacture something. You don't need to have them go. The elimination chamber is probably not going to have that many matches to begin with. They probably have a women's elimination chamber and a men's elimination chamber, so that it's going to be like the Royal Rumble. There's going to be 3 matches, so one of them does not have to be the U.S. title match.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So then okay, but if you do that, then you know, LA Knight, he still needs a WrestleMania moment. Again, there's an Andre
Okay,
Memorial Battle Royal.
well, I don't think he's going to be doing that.
I actually think
Maybe,
he can get away with a one-on-one with AJ Styles.
yeah, they might do that.
Like he,
That would make sense.
yeah, and they've kind of been building that towards with the Roman thing, and then that gives them like a main event type deal without being for a title, but it's still, I don't know if he goes for this being LA Knight. If he goes for the United States title, I feel like that's a downgrade.
Yeah, I think, yeah, probably if it's not AJ, then maybe Randy. Although Randy's probably going after Sokoa.
Yeah, it seems where that's going to fall. Randy versus Sokoa, but is that even a WrestleMania match? We still got to get the Elimination Chamber fleshed out here.
That's true. Well, like I said, the Elimination Chamber is probably only going to have a few matches because the Elimination Chamber.
So, yeah, we got the man and women's chamber. And then, yeah, they'll probably have like Royal Rumble for 4 matches, 5 matches.
They didn't even have that. It was Roman and the U.S. title match.
Yeah, and then the 2 Rumble matches. You're not counting those?
No.
Okay. Yeah, they're probably about the same. Actually, hopefully it's shorter because Royal Rumble was 4 hours, and it's hard to come on and do this podcast that we do weekly on Saturdays. Cheap plug. After a 4-hour show.
That's true. All right. Well, anything else with Logan and Owens?
No, interested to see where it goes. I'm in.
Yeah, that's one of us. So the bitches had a backstage thing, and my takeaways, just real quick. Stratton, she's on SmackDown now. So again, that goes to they're just signing people now. She smacked the shit out of Mia Yim so hard that Mia Yim went back to the set of Boys in the Hood. And then I noticed the Belair, she had no problems taking her hoops off, making her a fucking hypocrite. I'm done.
Okay. Yeah, so the segment, Naomi, she walks out of Nick Aldis's office. She's holding a SmackDown contract, so she is assigned to SmackDown.
Oh yeah, Naomi was there.
Yes.
Oh man.
And back there with her is Michin, Bianca Belair, and Shotzi. I wrote down that they were all acting black.
Boy, were they. Jesus
So
Christ.
why Shotzi? I mean, I get Naomi. I get Bianca. I even get Michin because she's half black. Why Shotzi?
Is she?
Yeah. Why Shotzi over there acting black?
I don't know.
Like,
so yeah, they're all like, nah, no, we're gonna handle our business.
Well, not yet. Not yet. So they're celebrating that Naomi's signed to SmackDown. Immediately, also in walks Tiffany Stratton. She says, "Excuse me, I'm the center of the universe. Why are we not celebrating my SmackDown contract?" And then, yeah, she does a stare down with Bianca Belair. So maybe that's a WrestleMania tease because Bianca Belair doesn't have anything to do right now. And then she says, I'm not scared to stand up to the baddest. And then she turns around and slaps Michin.
She smacked the shit out of her.
She did. She knocked one of her earrings off. And then and then Michin took the other one off. And then Bianca Belair's taking her earrings off. And then
Which didn't she make a big old fucking stink about that?
She did.
Okay. Just wanted to point that out there.
Well, she didn't want it.
No.
She didn't want to be told to do it. She wants to do it on her own.
She's a hypocrite.
But anyway, because they were all acting black anyway, so
that's another thing.
And there's also Black History
Month. That's another thing. She's talking about she's talking about how she doesn't want to be all stereotyped and shit. Wasn't that her thing?
Yes.
How the whole thing was a stereotype. You got the non-black girls trying to pretend to be black.
Shotzi.
It's like it's like she's talking, and I hate that. What is Shotzi?
I think she's some kind of Asian.
Okay. I don't know. I'll speak for white people because that's that's what I can speak for. It's like we talk down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead, like we feel like we have to go down to that instead of like speaking like a normal, like we normally would, a normal conversation. People can speak to each other two different ways. It's okay.
Yeah, no. What is it about? I remember I had a boss that like he'd get around me and be like, "What's up, homie?" It's like you really don't
Yeah.
have to do that. Like you could, you don't have to talk like that. It's okay.
When you get the, oh man, I was just in my tractor trailer and going fishing, mud diving and stuff, and then they get around certain people. Oh man, cuz I was at the supermarket. They would give me looks. I'd be tripping. Like, what are you doing? Stop it.
Well, I can't say too much about it because this one time I had so this one time I had to go. I was back in Mississippi visiting family, and we went to a pretty one-sided neighborhood, black that being.
Mm, mm.
A guy sitting on the corner drinking 40s, and I was looking for a apartment, and I had to ask him what apartment it was. So I had to put on a an accent. I
Uh.
had to say, "Hey, you know where apartment 4 is?" And I was before I even said it, I was like, "Do I say? Do I just go with it, or do I just say it?" No. Like, do I reveal that I know how to pronounce my R's or not?
Mississippi is a different state, man.
It is.
That's the I lived in Memphis. I'd have to work in Mississippi sometimes, and it's like as soon as I crossed the state line, it just felt different. Felt
You
sticky.
knew.
Yeah.
Like, it's real over here. I better watch out.
Oh, yeah, that too. Both sides.
Yeah.
I remember I went to a gas station once, and it was all I was the only white guy there. Everybody was just staring at me like their heads were turning. All I did was get a Diet Pepsi,
Oh yeah, they'll stare.
and they were just it was like the hills have eyes, man.
They'll stare at you. Yeah. They don't know who you are. They gotta figure you
Yep.
out.
Yep. Only place I've ever been to that I've just been uncomfortable. Anyway, so speaking of uncomfortable, let's do Pete Dunne. Oh, they won an 8-man tag match. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I didn't watch it.
Um. Well, right before that, we got a little segment. Legato del Fantasma
Oh,
is officially back and named, and they just did a little thing about being La Familia, and they vowed to take down Rey Mysterio's LWO. So we got like turf war.
I'm glad you brought this up. I don't like how they shot this. It looked like a commercial. Like a Dos Equis
You didn't
commercial
like
or
it?
some shit. No, I didn't like the lighting. It looked weird. The cinematics, or I don't even know how to describe it. It didn't look like a real set. Like if you can't if you can't shoot in a real restaurant or whatever the fuck they were supposed to be in, then don't do it.
It was. I don't know. It felt like they were just having dinner in the back of an Olive Garden or something.
I don't know. It's just the way it looked just looked phony, and I don't know. I'm not a cinematography, film nut, so I can't tell you exactly what it is that they fucked up or what my issue is. It didn't look real.
Well, there you go.
It looked like the set of like a soap opera or something, where it's just an obvious set.
Yeah. Well, there you go. But yeah, they had that little segment. The takeaway is that the Legado del Fantasma actually had their name back. So there's that. And then there's the 4-man or fatal 4-way tag match. We found out later that the winner of that tag match goes on to face the winner of this is also going to happen on Raw. And then those winners will face each other. And then whoever wins that gets a title match against Judgment Day. So there's
Okay.
that. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate wins it.
And we'll see how high they are on those two when we see who wins the match at Raw or on Raw.
Yeah, I don't know who's gonna win that one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this shit's so predictable that we'll kind of know. I'm sure we'll know who their who Judgment Day's next opponents are on Raw.
Oh no, it's gonna happen on SmackDown. Oh, you're saying
No,
whoever
what I'm saying,
wins?
yeah, because like if Gable and Otis win, okay, so it's Bate and Dunn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's the Inbreed brothers, then they'll probably beat Bate and Dunn.
Yeah, that'd be worth. Would be interesting to see.
Yeah. So next, Bailey makes her. Or did I miss anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Bailey makes her decision. So earlier, Io, Kari, and Asuka, they're in the locker room, and they were laughing, and they're saying that Bailey can't beat Ripley or Io. And then Io says, "After tonight, Bailey's done," whatever that means. So then it's revealed that Bailey overheard everything, and to me, it seems like we're rushing it a little bit now. But I'll expand on that here in a sec. Bailey says she's done, or she's there. She's in the ring with Damage Control. She says she's done it all at WrestleMania, but this year it's different because she has her girls. She says she can be the best and challenge Rhea Ripley, or she can go personal and prove her doubters wrong. Then she asks Io, Asuka, and Kari if they're done laughing at her. She says something in Japanese and says she picked it up from all the shit they've been talking about her. And she says all she wanted was for Damage Control to be the best. Then Bailey asks Io, what the fuck? Then Asuka and Kari, they attack Bailey after Io pulls the trigger like immediately. All she's doing is like, what's wrong, Io? What'd I do? Go. I had to laugh at that. So Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, who are there this whole time, they leave the ring and then watch from the floor like two cucks. And then Bailey ends up pulling out a pipe and fends off Kari and Asuka. So Bailey has beaten two of Nick Aldis's talent with a steel pipe, and he's just watching it with his mouth open, yelling at Pearce. What are you doing, Pearce?
Well, what are they gonna do?
They're women. Hold them back.
And then get canceled.
Separate them.
They can't.
You don't have to
be touching women right now.
You don't have to grab them by the tits to hold them back.
You slip up a little bit, but yeah, you
they
can't
actually
be touching
have.
women.
If you watch Bar Rescue, there's an appropriate way to restrain women. They specifically train bouncers a specific way to for women.
Well, don't
to avoid.
Don't let me have to restrain you. You're getting touched everywhere. You're gonna feel so dirty after.
You're gonna file so many lawsuits,
and then I'm gonna call you a bitch after.
I'm gonna spit on you and shit on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bailey beats the shit out of everybody with a pipe, and then Io, she makes to hit Bailey with her belt, but Bailey turns around and she fends her off with her pipe. Now if Io had a long braid, she'd be able to strike through that pipe and take out Bayley, but unfortunately she doesn't. So Bayley then, of course, picks Io for her WrestleMania opponent. And the real victim here is Rhea Ripley because she came to SmackDown and put on all that goth makeup for nothing. And real quick, let me need to lubricate real quick. Rhea Ripley is such a beautiful lady, and then she puts all that shit on her face, and she looks like a clown. It's such a shame.
I can't help you there.
That's fine.
You know, I got the thing for the goths, so I can't help you there.
I like the goth too, but I think she looks better without it. At least the lipstick. She looks, to me, she looks like Insane Clown Posse. She doesn't look goth.
Okay. Maybe she does do it a little bit over, but I don't know. I'm into the goth, so I can't.
Now, don't get me wrong. If I woke up next to her, I wouldn't go, ew. What is this? Give me my dick towel. I need to wash off. Okay, so regarding the Bayley damage control thing, I really wish that they would have built Io up to be a more ferocious champion than what she's been. That way, when Bayley finally, challenges her, it means a little bit more. Instead of just, high school shit.
Well,
and I also wish it was more of a gradual turn as opposed to Bayley just eavesdropping on one SmackDown. And I know she just all of a sudden, I've been hearing what you've been saying, but
come on, we've laid this out already.
I know we've laid it out already, but just now that it's happening, I as far as the Io, especially, I just wish they made her a stronger champion.
Well, when were they going to do that? They'd already dropped the ball on that.
Anytime. When did she win the belt?
I don't remember.
She's had the belt for a while. They've had quite a while to make her a credible champion.
She hasn't even defended it, but twice.
I know.
I mean, what are you gonna do? She can't beat Belair clean. She can't beat Charlotte clean.
She can.
Well, she can, but they're not gonna do that. Let's not get crazy. Those are cash cows. They can't lose clean.
Yeah, they can.
Top babyface syndrome. Can. I remember hearing somewhere you never the wrestling thing is you never beat your top baby faces clean. There's always got to be, if they lose, there's always got to be something.
Yeah, but the WWE, they don't care about that.
They do for the top. When's the last time Cody lost clean?
He lost to Lesnar.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, well, he passed out. He still lost.
Well, it wasn't clean. He had one arm. That wasn't clean.
That was clean.
He had one arm.
He still wrestled. He had one arm before the match. Cody had the choice to wrestle with one arm or take a break. He chose to wrestle with one arm.
And he almost won with that one arm too.
Yeah. So there you go.
But that wasn't, I don't know. Some people wouldn't call that clean.
Okay, fair enough. He had Cody had an out, I guess. He had a reason why he lost, but he still lost.
He did. But he was protected. Well, mark up and say that.
Okay, he was protected.
Yeah.
You protect your baby face, but I mean, I think that you could still have him lose, especially in the fucking women's division. Rhea Ripley's the best thing, and what's her feud?
Nia Jax. But when's the last time she's lost? Clean. Well, actually, they said it.
When's the last time she's wrestled?
She didn't need to,
Okay.
and it was, Ivy Nile,
Oh, that's right.
and before that, Maxine Dupree, who, uh,
Yeah.
try to forget that match. But I can see what you're saying.
But
It
what's
was,
a
it may have been a little bit rushed. Just, they seem to, like, slow down the turn because seemingly they were just, like, getting along, and then,
yeah.
we get here to SmackDown, and it's like foot on the gas pedal again.
And I remember hearing Triple H during a press conference or a interview or something. I remember him saying he loves the slow burn and stuff, and I don't see that ever since he's taken over. It's just it seems like they turn to something and it's just okay, we're going there. They don't, and they try to plant seeds, but then they'll plant seeds and then they'll stop and then they'll just go like, oh, remember those seeds we planted 6 months ago? Well, now that's why we're going 100 miles an hour here.
Yeah, maybe that's it. They plant seeds and then they cool it off.
Yeah,
They need
it's
to
just
keep being consistent with it because yes, they have been building to this moment since November, since Kyrie came back. Like
yeah.
so, but yeah, they cooled it off for a while. So, like when the Kabuki Warriors won the title, that's pretty much like as cohesive as they could be. From that moment, now we're on the turn again, or the turn. So it could have been rushed. Maybe it has been rushed, but if you look at the whole picture, I guess maybe it hasn't.
I mean, I guess if you listen to what she said, oh, even though I haven't had any or made any indication that I've noticed before tonight, I've noticed. So if you believe the plot armor, I guess, sure.
I guess you can say, unless you watch week to week, like when they put it in the video package, it's all going to make sense.
Okay. Lashley and his team had a thing with Cross and his team, and Lashley's group has a set of tits now, and we're supposed to be excited about that.
I'm not. First of all, this match.
I'm not either.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I'm not. First of all, this match got
All right.
cut, um, obviously, because they needed more time for what was going to happen in the main event. Um, yeah, so it was a brawl, so the match never started. Now, why I'm not happy with this or whatever. BFAB was the one who came out and helped Bobby Lashley's group. The only problem is you have someone who has a real life in this group. You have a real life wife that is just sitting there, and we already said she doesn't have anything to do right now. That being Bianca Belair. She's on the cover of 2K. She has a reality show coming out with Montez Ford. Why was she not the one out there saving?
Because she's not on SmackDown.
She is on SmackDown. She was just there.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, you just have to go
Oh,
by
yeah,
that.
she is, isn't she? Oh, fuck. My bad. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right.
Now, the only thing I thought about was maybe you don't do that because, I mean, Scarlett's on the other end. Scarlett versus Bianca Belair. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not close. So maybe that's why, because, like, it's there. Bianca Belair is a main eventer, but I don't know. It just seems like
That's the only reason
everything.
why.
Yeah, but it just seems like everything around it made sense for it to have been Bianca Belair.
Well, Bobby Lashley has a wife too, and wasn't she with him in TNA?
I don't watch TNA, nor have I.
I believe she was.
And the only The only woman I would think of would be Charmel with Booker T.
with
But
Booker. That's basically they kind of did that. Only it wasn't King Booker. Lashley was an MMA badass.
oh, I don't know. What's she looking like? She good?
I mean, it's better than BFAB. She doesn't have red hair.
Oh. Speaking of red hair, we never mentioned. I'll mention real quick. Back on Raw, Becky Lynch had a segment that said that she was gonna
Oh,
do what it takes to take the title to the back to the main event of WrestleMania. So that's probably where they're going with Rhea Ripley. And the only reason I brought that up is because yes, her hair is like actual red now, like crayon red.
okay. She's a model. Lashley's wife.
Oh, good for her. I guess good for him too. uh, I don't know. When you look like Lashley, you probably don't have much trouble in the women department. You get your pick
Oh,
of the
she used to be
litter.
with the WWE. So yes, she's Crystal Lashley and TNA. Crystal, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember it was basically a kind of a play on that. The Queen Charmel and King Booker. Just Lashley he played on his MMA career though.
Good enough.
There was another women's match I skipped.
This one was. This is after Bailey. Is that what we were just talking about?
This was after Lashley and Cross.
I believe this one would have been Tiffany Stratton versus Meechin.
Oh,
Her debut on SmackDown. Good debut. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. She's just get ready to
at
see
least
Tiffany Stratton in the main event picture. She's going to be the poster child for the new WWE. Her and Jade Cargill are your two future faces of the WWE.
I don't see it with her. Or I may have said that when you said that on the Royal Rumble review.
Yeah, you did say that.
Okay. Then I won't repeat myself.
But yeah, that's well, okay. Yeah, I say she'll be the next star. She's going to be the next marquee. Put her on the posters, and on top of all
I
that,
see her being the next Chelsea Green.
what was that? A
Just
joke?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she's athletic. Don't get me wrong. Like that moonsault she did was really pretty, and I like that. I like aspects of her character. I'm not saying that she's horrible or anything like that. It's just as far as like, I mean, if you want to put her on Jade Cargill's level,
Not on Jade Cargill's level. Well, I
well,
guess I
you said
did.
there,
I guess I did. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they're going to be a different. It's a different type of
I understand
star.
that. I don't know. I don't know. I think Stratton will be more of a comedy act, but maybe I'll be wrong. I've been wrong before.
I did just want to point out though she's only been doing this 2 years, like wrestling as a whole. That's one. And the remember back when WWE started this next in line program? Well, she was one of the people picked in that next in line program. Also, Braun Breaker. Um, but yeah, we're
Braun
starting.
Breaker doesn't count.
Yeah, he doesn't. But I'm just saying, they're starting to come. Those next in line talents are starting to branch out into, or see what they're panning out to be. So there's that.
I just appreciate that they didn't let or bring in somebody from NXT up just to have them lose their first match.
Yes, and she did. She won. She got one of the one of those graphic things that I was talking about that they do now, that this new guy does. So I don't know. They're building her up to
Didn't
be a
see
big
that.
deal.
Did she win clean? It looked like she won
Yep,
clean.
she did.
So she smacked the shit out of Meacham all the way to Boys in the Hood, and then she beat her clean.
Yep.
Good job. All right, so that brings us to our main event, segment, and Roman Reigns comes out.
Before we get there,
Oh,
there's just a couple
yeah, sure.
little thingies that we need to make mention of. So Braun Breaker, he was in Nick
Oh, right.
Aldis's office. He was holding a SmackDown contract, and in walks Adam Pierce. Says, "Hey, you need to see what I have over on Raw before you sign that." So Braun Breaker says, "I'll see you on Raw." So again, I think he ends up on Raw, so he can get to the Gunther match, but maybe he goes to SmackDown. That, and then also Jade Cargill, kind of the same thing. She walked in Aldis's office, and they're gonna have a conversation about being signed. And
Is that what they said? Because it just seemed like, oh, hey, Jade, let's have a conversation, and then they faded to black. Which they do that a lot. Oh, let's have a conversation.
yeah, I took it as
Fade to black.
since
I thought she
everybody
was
else
already
is
on SmackDown.
no, she hasn't made a choice yet. But I think
Oh,
since everybody else is from the Rumble that's getting signed, I think that's what I mean. That's the context I took is she's picking or she's getting signed somewhere.
gotcha.
And it's a good time to um there was a anyway, just to cut to the chase here. I wish they would do the hat thing like in college football where they're going to pick the team and then they get the tats for the
Oh,
finalists and then they put the hat on of the team they're going to. And then you got the guy who puts
eh.
the hat on, and then the mom got upset because he picked the wrong hat, or she didn't like the hat he picked, and she was upset on camera. You have Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and you got the three hats, and you pick one hat and put it on. I don't know. I just think it'd
I
be a fun
remember
touch.
somebody in AEW doing that. They had an AEW hat, a WWE hat, and an NWA hat, and it was just really cheesy.
It was well, it wasn't on TV, but it was Flash Gordon or Flip Gordon, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah,
It's actually
it
where I
was
stole it
dumb.
from.
Oh,
It's exactly where I stole it from, as a matter of fact.
okay.
Yeah, and it was yeah, he had the companies and then he picked which company he was going to, which he ended up picking New Japan, I believe. But yeah, uh, Flip Gordon, that's his name.
Yeah, I
But
just thought
yes,
it looked really cheesy and just I don't know. I don't like when they do it for real for colleges, so maybe I'm not the right person to give an opinion on that.
or maybe they can do it like LeBron going to Cleveland and have like a 30-minute show.
Decision.
Yeah,
I've never been recruited before. I need to savor this.
which he did go on the record and say he was not into that. But they pretty much made him do it. Well, they paid him handsomely for it, of course, but it's like, hey, why don't we do this? I don't like it. I just want to make my choice, but I'll do it.
He come on, he's always been an attention whore.
But that much of one?
Yeah, that much of one.
Anyway, we talked about NFL. We can't also then go to football. Chat, are you guys ready for the main event segment here? The segment that you guys have come for. We know. And
We
again, if you want, go ahead and spam Rock or Cody in the chat. Let us know where you're at. Oh, there you go.
maybe we shouldn't address chat. Maybe we should wait for them to address us.
Well, someone voted in the poll, so there's that.
No, that's nice.
And we cut that stuff out, so no one's gonna hear it anyway.
Yeah,
When we clip it,
I'm just saying. Maybe don't scare them off. Hey,
they want to be little
hey,
bitches.
person listening.
You're gonna be a
Why don't
little
you comment,
bitch.
please? Please comment. Comment.
No, if you're gonna be a little bitch and run off when you get addressed, then we don't want you here. Fuck
Well, there's
you.
that too. Oh,
You
if this
sit
was real
down,
life,
then
I could beat your ass.
if you want to sit down when you pee, then you get addressed and leave. Actually, someone came out. Abort, abort.
There you go. So Roman Reigns, he comes out and he immediately addresses all the shit that Rollins said on Monday. He calls Seth his little brother. And when he addressed Seth, nothing happened. He's like, that's right, no pop. He says, Seth claims to have the title, but didn't I beat everybody competing for that title, making them all my number twos? And Roman calls it the loser bracket title. And he says, Seth calls himself the guy, but you can't be running around here for 2 years in your wife's clothes and call yourself the guy. He says he's a workhorse, but broke his back 3 months carrying the loser brackets title. And he asks if the workhorses walk like this, and then he limps like Rollins. And then Seth wants to attack my schedule. Yes, Seth, I work 10 times less than you do, and yet I still make 10 times more than you. How does that compute? And then Roman asks the crowd if they want to see, or if they want Seth or Roman money. And then he says Cody is built different. He has values. So Roman's going to make it easy. He's not begging like the other guy did. Rhodey can be the best number 2 in the industry, or he can go for the throne again. Now, just that alone was gold.
Yeah, he straight cooked Rollins.
Oh my God. He obliterated Rollins. He showed why Rollins' belt is the number 3 belt.
Oh, you're still on the 3 thing?
Yep.
There you go. Yes. I don't know what else. Like, yeah, Seth Rollins took his shots, but Roman like went for the jugular.
Like if there was any doubt that Seth, okay, even let's say that it's not 2 belts. Like if there was any doubt that Roman's was the belt, then he obliterated that.
He sure did.
Seth Rollins not only like looks weaker and more, yeah. He called him his little brother. His promo was better. He was cockier. That face he made when he's like, you can't walk around in your wife's clothes. Call yourself the guy. And he had that little shit face. I was hoping,
Yeah, his little smirk.
yeah, I was hoping they had a picture of that on the website. Whoever does the pictures now for WWE.com sucks. Pro tip, don't use your fucking phone. Your phone goes vertical and sideways. If you're using your phone to take pictures, flip that motherfucker around. That's how you get rid of the black bars on the sides. Learn how to fucking photograph if you're going to do that shit. Lazy sons of bitches. Or spend the extra $100 for a fucking real camera.
I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, they do have a real camera.
Oh,
They
well
probably
then,
have some red cameras. You know, I saw this. Speaking of all that, I saw this little backstage segment, and you got this. They have this like I don't know gurney. Well, no, so it's like a thing that goes into a T, and on one side you got the real camera, and then on the other side you got like a. It's holding a smartphone vertically, so they can shoot their short form stuff, and it's like recording both at the same time. I don't know. That's not
that,
necessarily. That was
yeah.
that wasn't close to what you were talking about, but it just reminded me of that. That guy was walking around holding the camera with the head, and he's shooting the vertical at the same time. Like
Well,
they're about that media life.
I don't know if you look at the pictures at all, but just the quality has gone down horribly. And I can just see these motherfuckers with their iPhones on ringside just Well, let me take a picture of that.
Well, iPhone defaults. First of all, iPhone cameras, you know, top of the line,
Oh,
and then it defaults to 1080. Well, no, way more pixels than that.
I'm not saying the.
Even an
I'm
Android
saying
does.
the like landscape and portrait.
You think they're shooting in portrait? I don't think they're shooting in portrait.
I think they are.
I think it's the size of the picture that's
Well,
the
then they
problem.
need to whatever. It wasn't that size before. Whatever they're doing is wrong. Okay, if I don't know, even though I don't know specifically what it is that they're doing wrong, it's wrong.
As a matter of fact, I took a picture from their website and I didn't even have to edit it at all. Like the size, it fit
Yeah.
perfectly.
Oh,
I mean, I still put some twists on it, so I didn't just straight steal it, but you get it.
yeah. Some of them are really good, but some of them are just like they look like they're taken from a cell phone.
But
Like
you
I'm
can't
looking at
use
one
all of
from
them.
Punk. I'm not saying to use. I'm not saying to use. I'm just to look at.
Oh. Okay. That'd be different, yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. You got whole whatever. Okay, moving on. Get on this all night. So Cody comes out, and okay, Cody really needs to get rid of the "what do you want to talk about" thing. It's played its course. It doesn't work. It's horseshoed into the conversation, and then he's got to unhorseshoe it to get to a real conversation. Just stop it. You tried, Cody. Valiant effort. Just let it die. So Cody asks if he and Roman can have the ring to themselves. Everyone but Heyman leaves. And then he says Roman cheated him, and Cody had Roman beat, and Roman knows it. And Cody said, Rollins made a good point on Monday, but he was wrong calling your belt the Hollywood title. It's still the belt Bruno Sammartino wore. It's still the belt my dad held in his hand. You can call it whatever you want. I want that title. And Cody wants to know if finishing the story means taking Roman's belt or if it means taking everything Roman has. Then he says he's coming for Roman, but not at WrestleMania. Then Cody brings out The Rock. Rock
Wait,
comes. Oh, go ahead.
before we go there, before we get to the rock part,
Yeah.
and I forgot to mention it. So right before this segment, I don't know if you got it on your stream or not. They replayed the Rollins thing. Him talking about, oh, do you want the workhorse title or the Hollywood title, right? And then I don't know, they expanded on it a little more. So it's like, do you want the Ultimate Warrior title or do you want the Bruno San Martino title? Now the reason I bring this up is because the next person they said is, do you want the Sid Vicious title? Why are you going and bury Sid Vicious like that? I don't remember him much of a entertainer. Like, I don't know, maybe he politicked to get the title, but I don't know. I didn't think he was a. I don't think you would put him in there with like an Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan type.
No,
Sid
I mean
Vicious.
he was a big guy and his promos weren't that great, but I like Sid. I like Sid even more now that I've found his Twitter.
I don't think that's him.
Oh, well,
That person just like showed up all of a sudden, and it's not verified. Yeah, I don't think it's him. I thought it
either
was him
way.
for a second, but I
I
was
don't know, he
like,
talks
oh,
about wanting to powerbomb Ryback. How his favorite team's the Cleveland Browns. Either way, I don't care if it's Sid or not. I love him. That guy's my new god.
yeah, I think it's just someone who just stole the Sid Vicious name, and then
That's
they're
fine.
just
Whatever.
maybe they'll run our Twitter account later
Maybe.
when we can pay them. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there because yeah, he lumped Sid Vicious in with the Showman, and I thought it was out of place there.
Okay. No, I didn't. I mean, if they played, I usually don't pay attention to the recaps because I already saw it live.
Oh, it was the match flow thing.
Yeah, especially that because it's never a
Yeah,
match flow. It's always a segment.
yeah, there's just something there. It's like
Okay.
Sid Vicious. Why is he lumped in there?
Yeah, that's a little unfair.
Anyway, out comes The Rock.
So out comes The Rock, and then the Rock shakes Cody's hand and then gives him a father-like speech. Cody nods his hand and then he walks away like a little fucking bitch. And then The Rock and Roman, they have a little face-off without saying a word to each other. And that's how SmackDown ends.
And then right before we go off air, that little graphic pops up. Press conference this Thursday on Peacock, streaming live.
Oh, okay.
Now, kind of convenient that this Thursday they're going to be doing this press conference
Yeah, just a little bit.
because, there's this little thing coming up called the Super Bowl. And Thursday is the media day for Radio Row. I only know about this because, I'm a football geek. And Thursday is like open media, so you can bounce around to different shows. So it's kind of convenient. They're going to be on radio, and they're doing it in Vegas too. So pretty much they're telling you they're going to be on Radio Row that morning, and then by 7 o'clock or whenever they're running the press conference. Why they're running a press conference, I don't know. I know why they're going to be in Vegas to do the NFL media stuff. Like you're going to have Rock going on. He's going to be on Rich Eisen. He's going to be on Stephen A's show. He's going to be on everywhere.
Okay. I didn't see the press conference thing. Probably won't even pay attention to it.
Yeah, I'm
Just
not going
some,
to watch it live. I'll just get the Twitter stuff.
I just find the whole notion of wrestling press conferences just silly.
Why is that?
Oh, didn't expect that.
I
I
thought you
don't
were
know.
going to expand on it. So I was waiting.
Oh, my bad. I don't know. There's just they all have like this a fake, wrestling show, and then they get together to talk about how great their fake wrestling show is, and then they bring in journalists to tell them how great that they were, and then they either stay in character. I don't know. It's just all goofy, and it's not like a real press conference. Although to be fair, real press conference is, oh, so when you called that play, what did you think? Did you like throwing that interception?
Yeah, they're just trying to get their clips.
Yeah. What was going through your head when you threw your helmet at your teammate there? Were you upset? Coach, do you like losing?
Well, I think this one will be like a one-sided. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like a post media scrum. I think it's just going to be like a face to face type. I don't know, kind of like the UFC before the fight thing, where they just like. Are there people there when they do those? Those weigh in and then they sit down and. Oh, I guess there's people there because they got to answer questions.
Yeah.
Never mind. I take that back. Redact that.
Oh, so
We'll
like the
fix it in
two
post.
fighters on each side of Dana, and he does the shout answers.
Yeah.
You in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
But seemingly they are going to announce this The Rock versus Roman match. And thus, in lies the question. Hold on. Before I say the question. Because This is where the clip is going to start. So, you know,
Okay.
boy,
The
the people
the
who are here right now, they're really hearing it. You're really getting how the sausage is made right now. I tell you, hit the like button for
the
that too.
clip starts when I say it starts, bitch.
No, I'm telling you where you're going to clip it,
No, it clips what I s
boy.
Get the Pepsi.
So yeah, is Cody Rhodes or is The Rock? God damn it! Is The Rock replacing Cody Rhodes the right move?
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you. Now let's
Oh, God,
let's
no.
let's set the stage here. So
Well, then do it
the
again.
social do what
Ask the
again?
question, then say, "Let's set the stage here." Don't let me interrupt.
Wait, no, I'm not gonna. Let me set the stage and then we'll circle back
Alright,
and ask the question.
alright. I'm gonna mute myself.
All right, so let's set the stage
Sausage,
here.
folks.
Yeah, you're really getting it. And watch the clip and subscribe and hit the like button. Anyway, so The Rock, they posted this full segment up on the WWE's social media network. And in 24 hours, this video has 400,000 dislikes, which makes it the most disliked video in WWE's YouTube history. Now, for full transparency, the video is also trending number one on the YouTube homepage, and it has 4 million views. This again in 24 less than 24 hours. Um, some more context here. Fans were revolting online, at least. There's um, trends that have been happening all day. We have a trend of "We Want Cody" and the "Woe" movement. But then you have other fans who want this match to happen, who say Cody can finish the story another time. There's a smaller set of fans who just says fuck that story. Basically. Wait, erase that. There's another set of fans who said forget about that story. We don't want that story anymore. The story was last year, WrestleMania 40. Cody Rhodes didn't get the story. It's over. Done. No more story. But that is a smaller minority. And then we get into some of the politics of this whole thing. So apparently, this whole thing came together last minute. The Rock pushed heavy, as the dirt sheet says. He pushed heavy to have this moment. He wants the match. He felt that this would be a bigger match than having Roman versus Cody Rhodes. That being needed because of the CM Punk injury. There's also, for more transparency, there is also rumblings that The Rock is also pushing to beat Roman Reigns and become the champion. Now, this all is seemingly a cover up from the Vince thing. And boy, did it work because no one is talking about the Vince thing, at least for now. And it even got so big that TMZ covered it. They never covered wrestling, or they rarely cover wrestling. Like their last story was like in 2021. And USA Today is even covering it. So it's becoming a big story. Now, what is the story? The story is that of divisiveness. Half the fans they want The Rock and Roman. They think this is the right match. Half the fans want Cody, and they think he should finish his story at WrestleMania 40. So to that, I say to you, is this the right move? Knowing all this information,
Well, you left out the part where Cody won the Royal Rumble, and
that's inconsequential
no,
information.
no, you left out the part where Cody won the Royal Rumble, and they've been force feeding how he needs to finish his story down our throat all year. If they were going to go this route, then they shouldn't have had Cody win the Royal Rumble.
Well, they didn't know at that.
But Cody won the Royal
What
Rumble.
everybody's saying. They
Cody
didn't
won
know
the
at
Royal
that.
Rumble. So there you go. That's where they were going with Roman.
Yeah, they were at that point.
And for them to just change it for The Rock, I don't know. Plus the way they did it, that Cody comes out and he talks about how it was his dad's title, how he wants that title, but then he brings out a 51-year-old AARP member, and then he
Only
just
for
walks away
51?
after, huh?
I said only at 51?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Cody just walks away with his dumb little grin on his face.
Holding back tears.
Yeah, because he got fucked.
He sure did. He took it right in the ass.
And CM Punk even said so.
CM Punk.
Yeah. Remember his promo? He says, "Oh, let me lay out your road to WrestleMania, Cody. All year, you work your ass off, position yourself to the main event. Oh, wait, there's a bigger star coming to take it all away from you."
Oh, yeah. Yep, he did say that. But which is not agree that this is a much bigger match than Cody Rhodes, and this is like what WWE needs right now.
No. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
if you want to talk about for a single night, maybe, but 10 years from now, no. Do you want to eat a feast for an evening, or do you want to learn how to fish for a lifetime?
I ate the feast for one evening.
Of course you would.
But look, before this moment tonight or yesterday, whenever you saw it, before that moment, everything everybody was talking about was Vince McMahon. Everything everybody was talking about was how there's a dark cloud over this WrestleMania with
What the
everybody
fuck does
getting
that have
hurt.
to do? No, what does that have to do with the wrestling? What does Vince McMahon's penis have to do with what is on the screen?
Well, also the injuries, because you got like Seth Rollins being injured, CM Punk getting injured.
And they were working around
Uh,
Seth Rollins. CM Punk, obviously, they can't work around that. So you go either Drew McIntyre or Gunther. Done. You don't you don't completely flip flop the main marquee story at WrestleMania, the one that clearly everybody wants to see or anticipated or we're looking forward to.
well, my point is, they, at least before that, they needed something to, hey, look, there's a squirrel or something to get people's mind off of just trying to burn down WWE. So
Mm.
it would make sense that you put on this match, which is clearly a bigger match than Cody Rhodes. And I'm not even against Cody Rhodes, but The Rock is a much bigger name for WWE. The Rock's going to pull in outside eyes. The Rock's going
And
to
then
pull in the
when the Rock
casual fan.
leaves again, like he always does, those outside eyes are going to leave again. So that means nothing.
Well, that's on them.
No, it's
If you
not.
can get them,
Because he's just going to bring in people that just want to see the Rock's fake ass. And then as soon as the Rock again leaves, like he always does, because he's not a wrestler, then they're going to leave. And what are you going to have? Once the Rock leaves, what do you have to build on? How are you going to...
again, that's on them.
No, it's not, because you're building on some fucking piece of shit that comes and goes whenever he pleases and doesn't have his heart in the game, again, for
He's on
one
the
night.
board.
Huh?
He's on the board. He ain't going anywhere. Maybe he won't
No.
be on TV, but he's there now.
Exactly. So he's meddling in storylines, and he's going to go away. And then what are they going to have after he's gone? Because now Cody's diminished. Cody looks like he looks like a pussy.
That's what I'm saying. That's on them.
That's
You
not
get
on
the
them.
you get the attention. What you do with it next is on you.
That's not
Like
on them. You
if
fucking
we
diminished your top baby face for this fucking 51-year-old geriatric for one
well, let's
night.
take our
Oh
chance.
wow, good job. Oh, you got to bring in what? 300 okay, let's say 3 million people start watching because The Rock's there all of a sudden. Okay, The Rock leaves the next night because that's what he does. Are those 3 million people that came to specifically see The Rock have stayed to see Cody's grinning ass?
They could.
Oh, I went for the number 2 belt.
They could.
So they diminish the belt that Cody's going to go after now.
They sure did.
And then Cody bent over, let The Rock insert his pinky into his asshole, cried about it, and then The Rock just stole the moment. No, that's not the right move.
Well, I'm saying, okay,
And you're talking about it's going to be the biggest match. Okay, it's going to be a big match for one evening. You can set up your super baby face, because that's what Cody is, for the next, I don't know, however long Cody wants to do it. You could have a baby face for 10 years with Cody. Rock, you have one night. No.
now what you do with that one night, that's the important part.
No,
That's
it's
what I'm
one
saying.
night.
If you
You have
if you
10
start
years.
like a banger,
You have 10 years of successful storyline, a top baby face, somebody you can build off of, or you got some geezer for one night that's gonna either, if he, God forbid, if he beats Roman.
well, there's talks of that happening. But if you have, okay, let's say you have, I don't know. I don't, I don't know. I'm not in
Yeah,
creative.
you don't have an
But let's
example
say,
because it's fucking retarded.
no, I'm saying I'm not in creative, so I don't know what you do. But let's say The Rock, Roman Reigns, they go on, they do the WrestleMania thing, and then that night of WrestleMania, you start some banger story. Now you got, I don't know, you got
No,
30 million people watching.
what's gonna happen is The Rock is gonna hurt himself again, just like he did in the last match he was in. Did you not see how winded he was when he rock bottom Jinder?
Yeah.
Come on.
He hadn't done it in a while. He's gonna get in shape. We're
He's
gonna get there.
50
Don't worry about
fucking
that.
1 years
And
old.
again, I keep saying,
He's geriatric. It's not, no.
I keep telling you people, that this is not gonna be the whole line. They're telling us. They are telling us this is not. You want your workhorse title, you go get the losers bracket title.
It's
This
not even
title's
the
about
better
Hollywood.
story.
This is
It's
you're not
not
gonna be getting a
it's
work
not a
rate.
better story. This fucker comes out of nowhere. They just announced on TV during the program in kayfabe that this motherfucker is the board of directors, and all of a sudden he's inserting himself into the title match. Come on, what's a more compelling story? What's the man chasing his father's dream, or some fucking egotistical son of a bitch just inserting himself into the main event?
Well,
And
the
he's not.
tribal chief story is there. Like there's just
It's
it's
not
not that there's no
no.
story.
That's not a story.
That is a
The
story.
Rock has no fucking relation to Roman Reigns at all.
Roman Reigns has been going around saying he is the provider of the family.
He's
He's
the
the
tribal
reason
chief.
that the
Yeah,
family's on top.
he is.
Meanwhile, you got The Rock, who's been pulling in these numbers, who's been headlining movies. He's a
What
board
movie?
of a director.
What's a good Rock movie?
I don't know, Walking Tall, Fast and Furious. I
Walking
don't
Tall was
watch
good.
it.
Okay, so he had to leech off of a pre-existing franchise?
This franchise turned around when he came on.
No.
I mean,
Franchise
they don't
turned
even
around when
race anymore.
Tyrese was brought into the scene.
Hobbs and Shaw. That's still Fast and Furious. I don't know.
Yeah. He had to leech off of a pre-existing series. Okay.
Uh, I don't know.
I rest my case.
The movies he's done with Kevin Hart. Those are some people like those, even though Kevin Hart may or may not be a plant.
A plant?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, that he's not a real like he didn't go through any hardships. He was pretty much created in a lab that they just put him in Hollywood to be a Hollywood guy, someone they can control.
What?
I know my explanation was pretty much out there, but basically
So,
Hollywood picked this person to put him to the top so
uh-huh.
that they have someone they can control. That
Okay.
he's not like he didn't get popular based off of like, and this is what Cat Williams said, he didn't get popular
Oh.
like he didn't sell out any shows or he didn't, do comedy specials and people were coming to see him. He just
I,
showed up and
I disagree. I thought he was funny before he got quote unquote mainstream. I don't really care for him now because he's a little too for everybody. I liked him when he was a little bit more underground. He wasn't afraid to say what he said or what he thought.
oh, well, yeah, that was basically the point. There was no underground. There was just he just showed up in the mainstream. That's what they
Like
say.
his special "I'm a Grown Little Man" is like probably one of my favorite comedy specials. He talks about the ostrich. Talks about how his friend, they see this ostrich just out in the wild. And his friend throws a pen at it. He's like, "Why the fuck did you do that?" And like starts looking at him, and he's like, "This is when the bitch in me came out." It's like maybe we should get in the car. And then they're driving away, and the ostrich is chasing them. And it's like right because I guess ostriches are really fast, so it's keeping up with the car, just looking at them. And he's like, "It's just looking at us. Ain't worried about a tree or or a sign or another ostrich. It just has its eyes on us." And I'm like, "What? Why did you throw the pen at us if you didn't know what it was?" It's good shit. I'm not doing it justice, but it's funny shit. I
Yeah, I
don't know.
think he did pretty good, but
In fact, he doesn't have any hardships. Some dude in the hood is the one that turned me on to the Kevin Hart. So he got that hood pass.
well, true. But
I think it'd be fair to say if you want to go Cat Williams logic, I think it'd be fair to say he sold out. That would make more sense. I guess that's up to the user if they want to decide if he sold out or not. But I think to say he didn't, I don't know. It's not for me to say if he struggled or not. I think he's a funny fucker.
pay any
Whatever.
dues.
I thought he was on BET. I, that's all I know. He was in some shitty movies.
Some of them are okay.
He was like in 40-Year-Old Virgin, but like he had some like really bad movies.
Oh, probably ones I missed out on,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I think you just if you want to turn the attention, you have to go with the biggest match you can do.
Or do you want to
And
turn
then,
attention, or do you want to turn things around?
well, that does turn things around.
That doesn't turn things around. How does a temporary solution turn things around?
If you do what it takes to put the most eyes on your product, and
And then
again,
those
that's
eyes,
on them.
again, those eyes are going to go away when the geriatric leaves. Because you're
Well,
selling it, the whole thing is going to be sold on The Rock. It's not going to be on wrestling. It's going to be on The Rock. I'm the movie star. Blah 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 blah. Even though I
right,
don't
he's
have a
gonna
really,
have.
even though I don't have a really good movie that I can put under my belt, I'm going to say I'm a movie star. I'm gonna shoehorn myself into a main event, even though the main event was already predetermined. And clearly nobody wants to see it because it's the most disliked video the WWE produced.
Yes, it is their most disliked video of all time, but it's also on the trending page of YouTube. So,
Because people are watching it to dislike it.
but they're still watching it.
Okay, that
Where's the Cody Rhodes video? Where's it on the trending tab? It's not.
no, it's just justice for Cody and all other bullshit's trending.
Well, that's because
There's
it's the
two
internet.
there's two Cody related things trending. Plus the most the Rock is trending because people are shitting on him. Good job.
Well, he's still trending.
So now you're bringing in temporary fans for this temporary son of a bitch while pissing off the people that are actually here to watch it. Good job. And on top of that, you shit on your top baby face and made him look like a complete fool. So no, this was the wrong call, wrong execution, wrong everything. If you were even entertaining having The Rock and Roman go at each other, then you should have had Cody not win the Royal Rumble. I don't care if you knew whether or not CM Punk was injured.
Well, again, as the reports,
The second that Cody won the Royal Rumble, that's when you needed to commit to Roman.
well, that's what I'm saying. The reports say that when Cody Rhodes won the Rumble, then at that point he was slotted in to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania,
And that's when it
and
should have been a
then
done deal.
and then The
That's it.
Rock, who is on the board, by the way, he started pushing. I think I need to be in that match, and apparently he went, you know, he went to the top and said, "Hey, guy at the top, Ari Emanuel or whatever. I think we need to do me in that match instead of Cody."
Well,
Uh,
good
okay.
job, because the fans have shown that they hate it. They hate that idea, and that's a stupid fucking decision. So when the Rock
The
brings his
internet fans hate it.
when the Rock brings in his phony fucking wrestling fans and then they leave, and then you have the real wrestling fans, the ones that actually stick around and watch.
You know, the fake wrestling fans are what made the Attitude Era, what made the NWO era, what so special
That's not
when
true.
they were pulling eights and nines, when people were actually wearing wrestling T-shirts in public, and when you go to school and you can wear a Wolfpack shirt and not get beat up and put in the locker.
No, the real wrestling fans, the ones like us that would backyard wrestle and talk about it all the time and spread the word of mouth. We're the ones that that spearheaded the Attitude Era. Because who do you think wore the shirts first?
Well, of course,
All right,
the diehards wore the shirt first, but when it crossed over, then it was like, okay, I can wear this in public now and not get beat up. I can look Danny in the face now and not be afraid for my life.
and I just say I don't know. I think they ruined WrestleMania.
Well, do you think? Because nothing's been announced yet. It's only been teased. By the way, they did get a "holy shit" chant and "this is awesome" chant without even saying a word. Keep that in mind.
That could have been
Um,
piped in.
It wasn't piped in.
You don't know that.
I know that. I was looking at the crowd.
You were looking at the crowd. You read their lips.
You can tell when they're chanting and when they're not.
They could have been chanting "fuck this shit."
No.
Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. And they're like,
But
"Oh no, we gotta cover that."
turn that into "this is awesome" now.
Yeah.
But oh, I lost it. What was I gonna say? Anyway. Oh, they can still, so there is that vocal minority who are wrong about the main event and want Cody Rhodes to main events against Roman Reigns. What I was saying is they haven't announced anything, so there is time that they can, I don't know, backtrack, or they could announce that The Rock is going to be like a enforcer instead, and keep the bloodline at bay for Cody Rhodes. There's still time that they can like swerve and do something like that
I
because they
guess.
haven't announced anything.
Maybe.
But I just don't see them doing a press conference for Cody Rhodes. Sorry, I am a Cody Rhodes fan. I don't say this to like, I'm not shitting on Cody Rhodes or anything. I'm just saying,
You're not a wrestling fan, so yeah, it would make sense that you
yes,
wouldn't expect
I
it
don't care
from.
about it. And yeah, that's a thank you for bringing me back there.
Yeah.
This Roman Reigns and Rock match, you keep talking about his cardio and all the other stuff. This is not a work rate match. This is not going to be Owen Hart versus Bret Hart. Like
Right,
we're
but
we're
when you see a
watching.
fucking 51-year-old man wrestle your top guy, and he hurts himself, and they do a whole bunch of wrestling holds, it's not going to be entertaining. So I mean, forget the wrestling; it's not going to be entertaining.
I think it'll be entertaining.
It's going to be
It's
stupid.
going to be a story.
It's not going to be a story. It's going to be
And it'll
shoehorned
be
in, just like everything else. And even if The Rock is there, even if Roman's there, what? So the both of them, they're probably going to show up like once until WrestleMania. The whole thing's stupid.
well, WWE will
Cody
have an
was
opportunity to
Cody was clearly the better option. That's why their shit's so disliked. You don't see a whole bunch of people saying, "Oh man, great move." No, it's, "Oh wow, Cody got fucked over by two part-timers."
Oh, I see a bunch of people watching the videos.
And they're disliking the video.
5 million views
5 million
collectively. 5
dislikes.
million collectively. 5
5
million
million
views in
dislikes
24
collectively.
hours.
Yeah, people disliked it for 24 hours. A whole day.
Everybody knows the dislike button is fake.
It ain't fake.
The internet wrestling fans are fake too, by the way.
That's
They're
fair.
not real people. But yeah, that's the gist of the Rock and the Cody thing.
Yep, they ruined WrestleMania.
Well, we'll see if they change things or if they stick
The
with
Rock,
it.
the
We'll
Rock
see the
ruined.
numbers.
The Rock's ruining the WWE. He's ruining WrestleMania. His daughter's ruining developmental. It's just he's turning himself into the next Vince McMahon. Next thing you know, he's going to name sex toys after wrestlers and start shitting on people.
There you go. On to our retro review. I don't know. I can't follow that up.
All right. So we are back at Madison Square Garden. 10 years from WrestleMania 1, and this is WrestleMania 10. They play a brief highlight package from WrestleMania 1. In fact, they did little highlights through all the WrestleManias, which was nice. You can tell they're clearly in the primitive days of their video packages.
Yep, they're starting to put it together, but
yeah,
I'm just excited for the day we get to have a full screen pay-per-view. Like, not with the black bars on the side.
Yeah, yeah. So we start WrestleMania 10 with no voiceover whatsoever. Instead, we get generic WWF music and pictures of Hart, Luger, and Yokozuna. And then Vince McMahon is in the ring to welcome us, and he brings out Little Richard. And Little Richard sings America the Beautiful. And I'm in tears because Little Richard to me looks like Mark Merrow in blackface, especially when they did like little close ups and he's singing. Although he did the best job of America the Beautiful so far.
He did do a pretty good job. I like I liked how he was throwing it's Little Richard, so he was still throwing his ah!
Yeah, I need to get more familiar with his catalog.
Like he was like, America. Ah!
Yeah, all I saw was Mark Merrow.
And then, he did it was first just like a acapella America the Beautiful. And then the choir pops up out of nowhere. Then he sing. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I like the choir. So then they cut back to Vince, who introduces Jerry the King Lawler. And Lawler wants to know if Little Richard's voice was real or if his underwear was too tight. And then Lawler says the reason he's here is to watch the WWF champion Yokozuna make history. And that's when Vince explains that Yokozuna and Luger will face each other, and then Bret Hart will face the winner at the main event. But Bret is also in the first match. And we get Owen Hart versus Bret Hart. And we're taken back in time as to how these brothers came face to face tonight. And they show a clip of Survivor Series. And Bret is on the apron. He's facing the fans. Owen's in the ring with Shawn Michaels. Owen hits the ropes and inadvertently knocks Bret into the guardrail. And then Michaels gets a roll up on Owen. And then they cut to the end of the match. And I guess Bret won Survivor Series. I don't know. They weren't too clear on that. But Owen's pissed off and he kind of shoves Bret and they start jaw jacking. And then they
Oh
play.
yeah, the Hearts won.
Okay.
Owen Hart was the only person who got eliminated, so he was upset at that.
Oh, okay.
I just remember that Survivor Series.
Gotcha. So then they play interview with Owen, and Owen says he's tired of being in Bret's shadow, and he challenges him to a one-on-one match. And then Bret, he's given his chance to answer the challenge. He says he wants to live up to being the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. But under no circumstances will he ever step in the ring with his own flesh and blood. Never, ever, ever. Then they play a clip of WWF Superstars. And Bret and Owen, they appear to have resolved their issues, and they're teaming up. And Bret said, I think it was the Quebecers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Quebecers. And Bret says he doesn't want to find out who the better wrestler is between him and Owen, and they just want to focus that energy onto something more productive. And he says that he and Owen, they're taking out their frustrations on the Quebecers, and they are going to win the tag team titles. Then they cut to the end of the match. The Quebecers miss their finishing move, and then Bret's knees fucked up. Owen is desperately reaching for a tag. I don't know what happens after the match because they just kind of flash to Owen screaming at Bret, and then he just kicks him in the knee. And then he screams at the fans. And then they play highlights of Owen talking shit a week before WrestleMania. And he says that just because you're older doesn't make you better. I'm kicking your ass at WrestleMania 10. So it's nice little.
So I guess Bret accepted at some point.
Yeah. It was a nice little build up. I like that Owen wants to fight him, and it's like, no, I'm not wrestling my brother. And clearly Owen kind of pushed the issue.
Yeah, and I do remember that build. But yeah, I like that they're now doing the recaps.
Yes. So WrestleMania finally kicks off, and it kicks off with the weakest pyro ever. so it was like AEW levels of pyro. And then Owen comes out. He's wearing Bret Hart's sunglasses, and then he tears him up when he gets to the ring. And then Bret comes out, and Vince says it's the first time two brothers have ever started a match at WrestleMania. And this was a really good match. Owen and Bret, they kind of built the story where they were both evenly matched, but Bret was, just slightly better. Anytime Owen had an advantage, he would just stop and just start celebrating, waving his arms. And, they showed that they were equal, but Bret seemed to get the advantage on the wrestling aspect. So then Owen, he had to take his advantage by pulling hair and using elbows. And there's one point where Owen says he's had enough and goes to leave, and then Bret drags him back to finish the wrestling lesson. And then there was a point where they collide, and everything kind of stops. Like even the announcers, like they expected Owen to just kind of tend to his brother and make sure he's okay, but no, Owen just beats the shit out of Bret, kicks him out of the ring. And then, Bret pretty much wrestles on instinct at that point. He takes an ass whooping, but he still manages to get Owen in a roll up or a small package. And Owen shows his frustration. At one point, he hits a tombstone on Bret. And I bet that pisses Steve Austin off every time he watches this match. Like, well, hell, kid, why couldn't you hit me with a tombstone?
I did think he was going for that inverted pile driver when he switched him over like that.
Yeah.
I was like, uh-oh. But, he only did that move a couple times, and then he hurt. Yeah, I think he did. Well, maybe he did it more at house shows, but I remember him doing it like twice and hurting each person. So it was like the last time they did it.
There you go. So, yeah, like I said, this was a really good match. There's a lot of false finishes, counters, lots of wrestling. And there's the match end when Owen he whips Bret into the corner, and then Bret gets on Owen's shoulder and he goes to roll him up for a victory roll up, but Owen catches him and he pins him 1-2-3. So it was really good. It was like Bret's out wrestling him. They're both, having a good wrestling match, and Owen just catches him. He wins clean.
He sure did. And yeah, it was an excellent match. But as you would expect out of those two, seeing as they trained in the Heart Foundation or the Heart Dungeon, you saw the little graphics at the beginning or the picture. They were still pictures. They weren't really well. There was videos too, but Stu Hart training both of them.
Yeah. I can't
But
remember if that was the Yokozuna match or this match, but yeah, they did play. And it showed. It showed that Stu Hart training pan out.
yeah, and I like that Owen Hart pretty much, at least for the first part of it, he controlled most of the match.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a really good showing for him. And then yeah, he got the one up on Bret Hart, which was also a good touch.
Yeah,
Now,
it's just he managed to win clean, and you saw the look on Bret's face like, huh, motherfucker got me.
yeah. Now, why Bret Hart loses this match and then wins later is like the ultimate 50-50 booking. Like, what are we
No,
doing that? But,
it's to set up a feud.
and they did feud.
Yeah. It makes sense because one, Bret he already had a match set up with Yokozuna, or Yeah, he had a match set up with Yokozuna. Owen Hart challenged him, so Brett said, "Why not?" He managed to lose. You can say that, well, yeah, my brother beat me, but I was more focused on that 500-pound monster. And then now Owen can say, I beat the champ, which I'm sure he did.
Yeah, you can tell by the end of the night. Well, not to skip ahead, but
Yeah.
anyway. But yeah, good opening match.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. That was probably the match of the night for me.
Oh, you know what mine was.
Yeah. So Brett stunned after Owen proved that he's the better Hart tonight. And then after the match, Owen says he's now the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And he should get the recognition he deserves. And Owen says that Brett doesn't have a chance in hell of beating Yokozuna or Luger tonight. And hopefully Owen wiped whatever that shit was on his mouth.
Not during that segment.
God. He left the ring with it on.
Did the whole interview with
And
it
not
on,
one
too.
person said, hey. Not the camera people, not the person with the microphone.
I know, like he wasn't immediately on camera afterwards.
Yeah.
They had time to say, hey, wipe your mouth.
Exactly. Cy Perling introduces Howard Finkel with a hair. He has a hair piece on now, and he announces Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna Vachon, who face Doink and Dink the Clowns. Cy Perling was the Hair Club for Men founder, I guess.
Yeah, they got him a piece.
Yep. It's worth noting that this version of Doink is Ray Apollo, not Matt Bourne.
Well, I already say the original one was better, or the other one was better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Bam Bam beats Doink with a diving headbutt. I guess it was funny watching Luna beat up Dink, especially when she just kicked the shit out of the little fucker when he was running circles around her. She's just watching him, and then she just kicked the fuck out of him. I thought this was sad considering Brett and Owen preceded this match, and Bam Bam Bigelow will be main eventing next year's WrestleMania.
Really?
Yep.
Is that the Lawrence Taylor one?
Yep.
Okay.
See, so there's precedent for shitty main events for WrestleMania.
That was the main event?
Yep.
Golly.
Yep.
Oh, look forward to that.
But Lawrence Taylor brings in so many people.
I don't think he did.
Lawrence Taylor's a star.
Okay. Imagine you got Lawrence Taylor versus I don't know who's
Bam Bam
Hulk
Bigelow.
Hogan. No, not Bam Bam. He's not the star. Talking about Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan's retired.
Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior. I think he's
Well, that's the problem.
blacklisted at this point.
That was the problem. They didn't have a guy.
They're Bret Hart.
Yeah. But he wasn't a guy. You know, he wasn't. Yeah, of course they were pushing him hard. He was the face of the company, but you know, he wasn't going to take WWE to the heights that they needed to go to. As a matter of fact, he almost ran him out of business.
Okay.
And I'm a Bret Hart fan, by the way.
So I don't know. I'm not a numbers guy, so I can't argue with that.
Let me talk about this stupid Doink match.
Yeah.
The other Doink was better. That's number one. Number two, there was a lot of hokiness, especially with them especially with Dink running in circles and them like diving and missing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. I was in the same camp as Jerry the King Lawler. I was hoping there was a moment where Bam Bam got his hands on Dink. Maybe hit him with like the headbutt.
Well, he came close because Dink got him Bigelow's face after the match. And then Luna whoops on Dink again. And Luna and Bam Bam, they go for a double splash. And I'm not sure if Dink was supposed to move entirely out of the way, but Luna like landed right on his tiny little back. And Luna like pushed his little midget ass aside. And then she pretended to be hurt. So I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, she landed right on him and then she pretended to be hurt, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I was confused.
Oh, there was a funny moment in this though. Bam Bam, he caught Dink that was trying to run under the ring. Like he's trying to get out of the ring, and Bam Bam caught him, and he's just like had him gripped by the hair, and the referee's trying to get him off. It was funny. It's like, I got you now.
Yeah, that was just an abomination.
Yeah.
WrestleMania. The fact that they were talking about how it's 10 years of WrestleMania and we're back at Madison Square Garden and how great it is, and this is what they have to show for it. It's sad.
Yeah, it was.
So then they cut to a fake Bill Clinton. And that's all I'm going to say. And I will avoid mentioning any future appearances or segments he may have. So if you want to comment, go ahead and get it out of the way now.
I didn't know he was a fake, but there you go.
Yeah, that was not Bill Clinton.
Could have fooled me. Oh, you did fool me.
You can tell with the he doesn't. It was over exaggerated, and that just was not Bill Clinton. First of all, he's not going to be at fucking WrestleMania.
He might be.
The president of the United States is not going to be at goddamn WrestleMania. The future president will be, but not the current.
But yeah, I did think they were over. I did think they overdid it with the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then yeah, as I was looking at him, I couldn't think about anything other than Monica Lewinsky.
I did not. Yeah. Define sex.
Yeah, depends on what
it?
is.
Can you define it a little slower? So Macho Man Randy Savage versus Crush in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And Savage doesn't wait for Crush to get to the ring, but ends up getting his ass kicked anyway.
Sure did.
Then they reveal that after the fall that Savage took within like, I don't know, 30 seconds of him attacking Crush, that he has 60 seconds to get back into the ring, which I have never heard before or since. Does that make, have you, a Falls Count Anywhere match, you pin them outside the ring, and then they have 60 seconds to get back into the ring?
Yeah, it was weird.
Okay.
Maybe this was like the first iteration of it.
Okay.
So it was like, yeah, like I heard the Falls Count Anywhere, and then Macho Man gets pinned in like 10 seconds. And then they're like, now he has 60 seconds to get back in the ring. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they did say though. Now, where my confusion was he who should not be named did say that once they make a pinfall, they have 60 seconds to get back in the ring. So I thought he meant like whoever made the pin has 60 seconds to get in the ring. But this
that's
effectively
stupid
turned
too.
it in. It does, but yeah, it effectively turned it into a hybrid Falls Count Anywhere and Last Man Standing match.
Yeah. Which is fine. It's just not, I don't know. Doesn't seem like a Falls Count Anywhere match if they got to get back in the ring.
Oh, and for some reason they had to pin him outside the ring.
Yeah.
as you'll probably have to mention.
Which, spoiler alert, this is Savage's last WWF televised match. So I thought, like, damn, they they did them in 30 seconds like that. Shit. Before the
Yeah,
then
I remember you saying that, and I was like, "Oh well, like, that's why."
so um so Savage gets to the ring despite Fuji attacking him with a flag, and so he tries to get in the ring. Fuji hits him with the flag, and then he falls, and then he starts getting back in at 8. I don't know why Fuji didn't hit him again, but he gets back in, and then Savage kicks Crush's ass, and he pins him on the outside. Crush beats the count only after Fuji splashes water in his face, and then they fight to the back, and Savage gets a pin. And he ties up Crush to this harness thing that just so happened to be positioned right then and there and sectioned off. And then Crush fell to the ground because Savage can't tie a knot for shit.
They did
And
say he was a 300-pound person.
yeah, but he didn't even try to tie a knot. And obviously, Crush doesn't beat the count. And Savage goes back to the ring to beat Fuji's ass. And Savage celebrates through the crowd. And yeah, this was our send off for Macho Man.
Another weird match.
Yeah. Just
But
I don't know why you would just have a ladder and a pulley system just sitting there. There's no natural way for that to be there.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the whole. You got 60 seconds to get back in once
Well,
you're
that's
pinned. Like there was a moment where, yeah, Macho Man, he drops the elbow, and then kicks kicks him out of the ring to pin him, and then gets back in the ring. Like, I don't know. It was a little bit weird there. I was okay with the harness thing. I don't nitpick that part, but my nitpick was was there.
Yeah, it was weird stipulation. Maybe like you said, it was a newer concept for them. Because I don't know. I didn't like the 60-second rule.
Yeah.
But I guess that's how they could, the only way they could figure out how to kind of reset. But I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. So we have Lilani Kai versus Alondra Blaze for the women's championship. And Blaze gets really big pyro, making her look like a huge deal and making me wonder why they used the little fiddly pyro when the whole thing started. And I appreciate that the women of this area worked like the dudes did. They work like smaller men because that's, how they were trained. Now they all look like acrobats. But I don't know. I just like how they worked stiff. And Kai, she worked the giant, and Alondra Blaze was the smaller baby face, and she happened to win with a German suplex out of nowhere. And I thought Medusa was an easier character to get behind with the whole America, and she looked prettier, and yeah. I
Well,
didn't
she
think
had
this
some enhancements at that point.
true.
She had some help.
I don't know though. Did that outfit didn't do her any favors?
Yeah, I could see that as just a solid outfit.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful suplex, though.
Oh yeah, she's
She
really
did
good.
have one of the better German suplexes.
Oh, totally. And I didn't think this was that bad of a match. Even though Lawler said he wasn't impressed.
Well, he kept talking about, well, yeah, because he was working heel.
Yeah.
So he said he wasn't impressed with Blaze, and then he kept talking about how attractive the other chick
Lilani
was.
Kai.
Yeah. It's like, look how attractive she is.
Who? Alondra Blaze? No. Lilani Kai.
Yeah.
Ha ha!
He was making some references that I didn't get. Like, um, he said Alondra Blaze asked him for or maybe it wasn't her. Never mind. I think it was later.
Okay.
Something about asking for a refill and he blew in her ear or something. I didn't get it.
The literally that they used to blow in your ear.
What?
So I don't know. That was like a flirting thing.
But I didn't get the refill part. Like, I
Oh,
don't know. It just went over my head.
yeah, fair enough. So Burt Reynolds tells Shawn Michaels to shave his chest and the back, and they sort of fight over Rhonda Shear, but she only has eyes for Burt. And then Rhonda and Burt, they talk about the fan fest thing that was going on at the time. And I guess he fucks her right there on the floor.
Seems, yeah, she was ready. And she
Yeah.
kept saying, "Up all night. You're going to keep me up all night?"
That was
Yes, I will.
the name of her show.
Yeah. But, well, she said that to him. Are
Yeah.
you going to keep me up all night? Yes, I will.
Yeah. Ah. And he just did her on the floor because it's
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds and you don't give a fuck. It's probably why his hand was hurt. He was fisting her so hard.
It's okay. Sit there and watch.
Okay, so men on men on men on a mission versus the Quebecers. It's for the tag team titles. And men on a mission, they treat us to a musical number. And Johnny Polo is the manager of the Quebecers. And for those of you who don't know who that is, you may know him as Raven from ECW / TNA / I think he was in WWE for a while.
Yeah, he was part of.
For
Was
a
he part of
second.
the Radicals or?
I
No,
don't know.
he wasn't part of the Radicals, but he was in WWE. Yeah.
This I don't know about this match, man. I like the double team move the Quebecers did. Where they kind of did the little back body drops. The one would just like run, and the other one would just back body drop him without any regard,
Oh yeah.
without ever looking.
Once even outside the ring.
Uh huh. And then they made a big deal when they both suplexed Mabel, which I guess they should. And Mabel was surprisingly athletic at this point. I remember him wearing mascara and barely moving, so that's something to look forward to.
He always had that spin wheel kick.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I don't know. Men on a mission, they won by countout after Mo pushed Mabel onto one of the Quebecers outside the ring. And the men on a mission, they celebrate with the tag belts afterwards.
Oddly enough, I don't remember this team at all. Man
Men
on a
on a
mission.
mission?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Mabel. I don't remember the other two.
I can't
Like
remember if
I
it's
was like,
King
why
Mo.
don't I?
It's Mo and Mabel.
Yeah, I was like, why don't I remember this team?
I just want to know why Mo looks like an 80-year-old man. He looks like Mabel's grandpa.
Speaking of which, Raven, he looked old.
Yeah.
Johnny Polo, if you will.
Johnny
He looked
Polo.
old. I was like, wow, he looked old back then.
Yeah.
And this is before his career really gets started.
It's weird seeing him not as Raven.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so we have Yokozuna versus Lex Luger in our first WWF Championship match. And it is announced that Mr. Perfect is the special guest referee. And he is announced by Donnie Wahlberg, who is in his douchiest form tonight. And it turns out that each competitor, or there's a special guest referee for each match, and both competitors they agreed upon the guest referees beforehand. Did I get that right?
Yep. They each got to pick a guest referee. Yep.
Okay. So James E. Cornette is Yoko's American mouthpiece, which I can't think of a better mouthpiece to have if you're an American or Japanese. Luger's presentation is a whole hell of a lot different than in the last WrestleMania, where he's the narcissist.
Yep,
He's
he's all American now.
he's very American, and I just like Luger. I think just the way he carries himself. I know he's very generic, but
Yeah.
start attacked each other like barbarians. Um, very like Luger wasn't hesitant at all. He just went right at Yoko. Where it seems like, Yoko's the monster where you would kind of hesitate a little bit and pick your spots. Not Luger. He just went right for it. And I noticed Yoko's offense kind of revolved with Luger just running at him as opposed to the other way around.
Of course.
Work smarter, not harder. Luger did a tease early on where he tried to slam Yoko, but he failed. And Yoko exposed the turnbuckle at some point in the match early on. And the longer the match went on, the more concerned I became for Yoko's well-being because he started huffing and puffing and sweating his ass off. And I'm sure his face would have been red if his pigment would allow it. And they did a really long nerve hold spot twice.
That would be their resting.
Yes.
I said, you got these two big meaty, in different ways, meaty men. Of course they're gonna have this hold. But boy, did they hold it there.
Yes, they did. Well, they held it for a long time, and then like they did something, and then they did it again.
Yeah, it's like I still need. Please
I
give
still
me
need
more time.
I need to breathe, brother.
Yeah, give me more time, please.
Yeah. So Yoko ends up getting slammed in the exposed turnbuckle, and Luger finally hits Yoko with his forearm. And then Cornette and Fuji, they try to interfere, but Luger kicks their ass. And then Fuji looks sad when he crumpled up after Luger's little light elbow. I don't know if you noticed that. Luger just gives him like the lightest elbow, and Fuji just slowly falls. And Luger goes to cover Yoko, and Perfect. He looks at Luger covering Yoko, and then he just goes and he thinks it's the perfect time to get Cornette out of the ring. Luger gets up and he asks Perfect like what his fucking deal is, and then Luger covers Yoko again. And Perfect, he's looking this whole time at Luger. Then he goes and he checks on Fuji. And there's one, like, he did this a couple times. There's one part he actually like walked past Luger to get to either Jim Cornette or Fuji. So then Luger, he gets up and he ends up shoving Perfect. And then Perfect, he has this weird little look on his face, and he grabs his shirt, and he slowly walks to the other side of the ring, and he disqualifies Luger, and he leaves the ring. And Luger's beside himself. And you hear the crowd, they start chanting bullshit. Which I'm glad that hasn't died. That's a tradition I think that should live on forever.
Yeah.
And then Perfect, he's interviewed later, and he says he called the match right down the middle. And Luger put his hands on the official, and he had to disqualify him. And Luger comes back, he starts yelling, he goes, "Give me a good reason." And Perfect says, "I'll give you two. You shouldn't toss managers in the ring, and you shouldn't put your hands on the official. You need to deal with this loss." Then they start shouting some more. And then later they talk to Yoko and Cornette in the locker room after the match. And whoever's interviewing, they said, "Oh, it looks like, I don't know." He said something about Yoko being on the mat after the match was over. And Cornette says, "It doesn't matter if Yoko was on the one laying on the mat. He's still the one with the belt." Luger thought he had the match won, but he who makes kittens puts snakes in the grass. And Mr. Perfect was the best ref of all time. We agreed on both parties, and he was agreed on by both parties. And Cornette says that Bret is no longer a question of, or he says to Bret that it's no longer a question of Hart winning the match, but if he can walk out of the main event in one piece. And Bret's going to have the loss of Owen and his fucked up knee on his mind. And Yoko's awake in the land of giants. And then Adam Bomb versus Earthquake follows that. So, what'd you think of Yoko and Lex?
It was, I don't know, it was good for what it was. Obviously, them being such big guys, they weren't going to be doing all the flips and flops, so
Right.
expected that. I did think the ending though was, um, I don't know if it was bullshit, but it was justified because yeah, if you look back, Luger did pull the managers into the ring, so Mr. Perfect being the referee, he had to check on him while the pin was happening. I don't know if that was the best time to do it, but hey, you gotta have concern for the managers who were pulled into the ring. They didn't come in the ring; they got pulled in. And
Well,
then
I don't know what's happened since, but they also have an issue from WrestleMania 9.
yeah,
Which, and I'll just say it now, I wish they would have played on the referees. I wish they would have played on the fact that both competitors lost to the special guest referee at a WrestleMania.
yeah, it would have been good to mention.
I just like how they fought like Godzilla and King Kong. At least at first, then they got tired. They had to sleep.
Yeah, and then they had to sit in that rest hold for
Ever.
ever.
But yeah, it was good for what it was.
Yeah, and I think I remember. I thought Luger was gonna win that match too. Back when I watched it, like the initial time,
Yeah.
but he
You would
didn't.
think. No, he
And
didn't.
I guess there's probably some kind of thing between him and Perfect now.
I believe so, yeah. Or at least until Perfect leaves.
There you go.
So Adam Bomb and Earthquake is next. And before the match, Harvey Whippleman tears into Howard Finkel. Says Finkel is ugly, stupid, big-eared, he's monkey-faced, he's bald-headed, he's a New York piece of garbage. And then he rips Finkel's suit. And he shoves Finkel, then gets mad. And he shoves Whippleman to the mat. And then Adam Bomb comes out and snatches up Finkel, which that's so sad. Finkel didn't even come up to his belly button. And Earthquake comes out to save Finkel. And Earthquake hits 3 moves. He gets the 1, 2, 3. And he almost set a WrestleMania win record. And if he didn't walk around during his little power slam, he probably would have got it.
There you go.
Not much to say about that.
Yeah, not much to say about that. it was over in a couple seconds, so not too much to say there.
Yep. All right. Well, after that, we have Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon. And this is for the true Intercontinental Championship. And the only way to win this match is to ascend the ladder and retrieve both Intercontinental titles. And in this match, Diesel makes his WrestleMania debut. And I like when Razor came out, he deliberately walked under the ladder. It's a nice little touch. I remember seeing that again.
Yeah, it was always one of those moments you remember.
Yeah.
Especially like Shawn Michaels walking around the ladder and then he comes out and he walks under it.
Mm-hmm. So Diesel's immediately barred from ringside after decking Razor. So thanks for coming. And I enjoy when heels are good enough to beat the faces on their own. just their enforcers or bodyguards or just that insurance policy just to make sure that they seal that win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Sean was, because he didn't seem to miss a beat when Diesel was barred. And of course, being the smaller of the two, he was the one to use the ladder as the weapon more. He was very, vicious with it too. He beat the fuck out of Razor with the ladder. And Razor, like,
Oh
he tried
my,
to,
yes, he was.
yeah. And I'm sure he did for the time. I'm sure that all of that was innovative.
It was. I think. I mean, as far as I know, this is probably like the first one-on-one ladder match we've seen, especially at WrestleMania. I know this is the
Yeah.
first one.
At least in the WWF.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I remember, I think Brett took credit for the ladder match. I don't know if I can't remember if he said he did it in Stampede Wrestling or not. But anyway. But yeah, Sean was vicious. Razor, he tried to, play by the rules, but then he just kind of got fed up and he started using the ladder too. And then, yeah, it was a good match. Like I said, it was insane shit for the time. They fight on top of the ladder at one point, and Razor slams Michaels, and the ladder just collapses under both of their weight. That was kind of scary.
Yeah, they didn't even have a backup ladder as they do
No.
now. It was like
Yeah, that's
one
probably why they
ladder,
have.
and that was straight through.
That's probably why they have 100 ladders now. Yeah. Michaels uses a super kick as a setup for a pile driver. And McMahon and Lawler, they both said that he was going for a Razor's Edge. Like, oh, he's setting up for a Razor's Edge. Oh, pile driver.
Well, it's because he did the thing,
Yeah.
the
I know, I get
razor.
it. But, well, he did the finisher. He didn't do the Razor's Edge. He has to actually put his arms up.
Well, no, yeah, he did the pose, the thumb pose, and then he did the thumbs and then the arms out thing.
Mm.
So yeah, you would think that he was going for a razor's edge. So he was mocking.
So Michaels goes up to the ladder after positioning it over Razor's fallen body. As Sean is ascending, Razor gets up and then he pushes Sean, or he pushes the ladder with Sean on it onto the ropes. Sean gets his legs caught up into the ropes, and Razor's able to retrieve both belts. And I thought Lawler was actually going to help Sean.
Oh yeah,
Because
because
he
he's
said
like,
he
"Can
was
I
going
help?"
to. Yeah. But yeah, it's a really good match. Razor
And
was really
this
good at
was
throwing punches.
this was the match of the night for me, obviously. Yeah, so much stuff they did was groundbreaking for WWE for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell the crowd was into it as soon as the crowd knew they were in for a riot as soon as like Razor was trying to pull the ladder in the ring, and then Shawn Michaels runs and does the baseball slide drop kick to it and
Yeah.
hits him in the sternum.
Oh, yeah.
Like at that point, you knew, okay, this is going to be a match here. This is going to be brutal.
Or when
And
they
then
just kept
Shawn is
tossing
like,
the ladder at each other.
yeah, there was one point where Razor's like holding on to the ropes, and Shawn Michaels just throws the ladder at him. And you can see that the ladder doesn't land. If I can mark up a little bit, the ladder didn't land flat. Like it tilted, so the outside part of the ladder hit him right in the back. I was like, golly. But yeah, there's so much innovation there. And sets the tone for wrestlers to come, I guess.
And I think the Owen and Brett match for me was the match of the night because, well, one, the wrestling was better, and two, I think the story was a little bit better. The story they told.
Yeah.
But this was a banger of a match too. I'm not taking anything away from this.
Yep, both good matches.
So up next, a 10-man tag team match was supposed to take place, and it was actually canceled due to time constraints. And the kayfabe reason is that IRS, the Head Shrinkers, and Rick Martel and JEFFJARRETT couldn't agree on who would be team captain. And they were supposed to face the 1-2-3 Kid, Thurman Sparky Plug, Tatanka, and the Smoking Guns. And I guess Bob Holly wrote in his autobiography, The Hardcore Truth, that the timekeeper backstage repeatedly told the referee over his earpiece to end the ladder match, but Michaels and Ramon ignored them, and they kept wrestling until the officials were forced to cancel the tag match.
Well, that sounds like one of the best calls in wrestling history then.
Yeah. Fuck your tag match.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, they gotta end that match.
Right.
What are we even talking about here?
Do you not see what's going on right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird that they had a time constraint, especially since they also had the squash with Earthquake and Atom Bomb.
That is weird.
Had
I
that
didn't think
squash.
about that.
So they had basically 2 matches cut, and they still didn't have time.
Yeah, that means they would have had to cut something else, or that means something else went long. I don't know what. Maybe Owen and Brett. Yeah, Doink and Dink. Those
Yeah.
fuckers.
They overran their time.
Well, that brings us to Yokozuna versus Bret Hart. This is our main event of the evening, and this is for the WWF Championship. And they play a cool little video package before the match. And I like the transition between Bret and Yoko's videos where the music it did the record skip and went to a different song. I liked it. Burt Reynolds and some other bimbo from 90210 are the celebrities for this match. And Reynolds brings out Roddy Piper as the special guest referee. And Piper was the greatest referee ever. And he got the fans to cheer for him after he decked Cornette. And I think he was the only one that got a cheer. They weren't cheering Bret or Yoko. I know that. Maybe after the match. But he wasn't messing around. He was like, you got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, this is pretty fast counting.
Yeah, he was doing his counts. 1, 2. He wanted to go home. And yeah, I wish they would have played that Piper lost to Bret at WrestleMania, so it would have tied in more to what Perfect did. Because they didn't really. It made sense that Perfect would fuck over Luger, but they didn't make any indication that Luger could have gone that way.
Yeah.
So now that they set that precedent, they could have, oh, wait a minute. The last match we saw Roddy Piper in was against Bret Hart, and he lost.
I remembered it though.
So Yoko basically he whips Bret's ass the whole match. I mean, Bret makes a few comeback attempts, but it's pretty much all Yoko. I did think the bulldog that Bret hit was the end, but Yoko kicked out just at the last second. So at the end of the match, Yoko he positions himself for the Banzai drop. He goes up and gets up there. Bret's down. He's defeated, and then all of a sudden, Yoko loses his balance and then he falls off the ropes. And then Brett slithers over and gets the 1-2-3 because the 1 foot drop was too much for him. I
Yeah,
thought
he
that
was
was
holding his head.
weak sauce. Way too
Yeah,
many fluky finishes in this pay-per-view.
they didn't really play up like they could have played up like why he fell. Like, maybe there was something slippery, or
Or
they
maybe
could have had an angle where something happened prior to that,
or
and then he
Brett could
tries
have
to go.
like chopped him in the knee or something. So he could have been working on the sharpshooter and then because he's 500 pounds, Brett's been working on that knee, he gets up on that top rope, he loses his balance. Boom. Makes more sense than the dude that's been doing this fucking sit down move over and over and over again, just automatically loses his balance out of nowhere. Was there strong gust of wind at Madison Square Garden?
I guess so. And then he completely, and yeah, he just falls from the second rope,
Yeah.
and that's enough to get him pinned.
Like Brett slammed his face in the mat early. He bulldogged him.
Now, to his credit, he did get up like right after.
Is that to his credit?
I don't know. I'm trying to give him something here. It just didn't feel. I don't know. I don't know why they come up with that finish of all things.
Yeah, it was bad. I did like the one where the turnbuckle broke. I thought that was a better finish.
Yeah, and I thought that happened at this WrestleMania, but apparently
No,
not. He just fell.
no. Maybe they learned their
Your
lesson.
world champion fell down, and that was enough for him.
Yeah, your monster just fell.
Yeah. Oh, his kryptonite is you just got to make him fall down.
Yeah, it just fall.
Yeah, if he falls down, you can beat him.
But only for 3 seconds is when he's out. Then he
Yeah,
gets up and he chases off Piper.
that did look like a scary sight, though. Him chasing Piper, him
Yeah,
running.
just a bit.
It's like, get out of the way there. But
See, and that's why I couldn't be a cameraman, because if I happened to see that, I would kind of shake the camera a little bit to make it look like, because I'm a dick. So finally, Brett, he gets to celebrate as champion. Then Luger comes out and they have a little brief stare down. Then they shake hands and hug. Then a bunch of other wrestlers come out to congratulate Brett. Burt Reynolds, too. And then the other celebrities come out for no reason. And then Burt and the Rhonda Shear bimbo, they have this weird little pose off thing, not paying attention to Bret Hart at all. Burt Reynolds, I don't think he gave a fuck about wrestling. He
yeah,
just wanted to bang Rhonda. And then Hart, he's hoisted on Luger and Razor's shoulders. And then Owen comes out and he's staring daggers at Brett. And Macho Man and some of the other wrestlers, they're inviting Owen to share the moment with Brett. And Owen's not having any of it. So then they just start mocking him. And we're pointing to an obvious direction for the new champion.
yeah, we go off the air with Owen Hart staring down his brother, who is now champion, who he beat earlier in the night.
So yeah, it was a weird WrestleMania, I guess. I think the only saving grace was Owen and Brett and Shawn and Razor. Probably could have done without the rest.
Yeah, it was pretty hokey, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got the ladder match and the Owen and Brett match, so not all too bad.
Yeah,
At
it's
least
kind of
for that.
like one of them CDs that you get where you only get for one song.
Yeah,
In this case, we have two.
and not the single, just like
Yeah, the whole CD.
yeah, you get the whole CD because you got that one song on it. It's pretty much how I picked most of my music CDs. Oh, it's got that song on it. That's, that's one.
Right.
And then yeah, you listen to the rest of the track and it's like garbage.
Like any of Vanilla Ice's CDs. Like, oh, it's got Ice Ice Baby. That's all I need.
I was thinking a lot of like the No Limit group. So like Silk Shocker, Mystical,
Mm.
Master P. You get it from one song.
Well, that was WrestleMania 10. And after WrestleMania 10, Men on a Mission, they continue to challenge the Quebecers for the tag team belts. And Men on a Mission, they eventually win the titles. And it's said to have been an unplanned title change because Mabel accidentally fell on Pierre to get the pinfall. And the title reign only lasted like 2 days. And the Quebecers won the titles back in a rematch. So, I don't know. And Luger and Perfect, they were scheduled to face each other in a series of matches. And then Perfect was replaced by Crush. And Perfect didn't appear again in the WWF until Survivor Series 95. And after the Shawn Michaels and Razor match, Diesel began to challenge Razor for the Intercontinental title. And Michaels helped Diesel win the IC belt. I think it was on Raw. Maybe not Raw. I don't think they would do it on a Raw. But it helped Diesel get into the main WWF championship scene, and he becomes a Triple Crown title guy.
Good for him. I remember he beats Bob Backlund pretty quick.
Yes, and he sold the power bomb, and Diesel said that that was like one of the most the nicest things anybody could have ever done, because Backlund crawled to the back.
It's good for him.
Yeah, Backlund would do that too. Love me some Backlund.
Oh, by the way, just real quick for the one thing I didn't point out was, as you're talking about the main event, Bret Hart, he was still selling the injury from Owen Hart
Oh yeah, I did.
when he came
I
out
forgot to say
for
that.
the next match. It's like, see, that's that's psychology right there.
It is.
Like he came out limping still.
And even when he got in the ring, he didn't. He was
Yeah,
favoring the hurt knee. It was great.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks for pointing that out. Now I know you're wondering about this. The 10-man tag did take place on Monday Night Raw, and IRS pinned 123 Kid to win the match.
There you go.
So you can sleep well tonight.
They got their moment.
They did. Brett and Owen, they continued their feud all throughout 94. At the King of the Ring, Jim Neidhart became involved, helping Owen win the tournament. During the coronation, Owen announced that he wanted to be referred to as the King of Hearts. At SummerSlam, Brett successfully defended his title against Owen in a steel cage match, and he was attacked by Neidhart after, and that prompted the British Bulldog to get involved on Brett's side. And at Survivor Series, the storyline saw Owen partially responsible for costing Brett the WWF Championship. I can't remember if that was the... Oh, yeah. Brett faced Bob Backlund in a match, and it was the throw in the towel match. And Owen, like, he caused... I think it was his mom or something. Sympathy. Or like, he was just like, oh, look at Brett. You got to throw in the towel. And he kind of made her throw in the towel.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was concerned
Yeah.
because Bret Hart was in that chicken wing for like
Mm-hmm.
he was in that
Forever.
chicken wing forever, and he wasn't getting. There's no end in sight for it. Like if I remember, Backlund had the legs hooked and everything. He
Yeah.
wasn't going anywhere.
So Backlund beat up Brett. And yeah, after the match, Owen, if I remember correctly, he celebrated with Backlund, showing that he was just pulling his mom's leg. Like, you bitch. I got you, stupid whore.
It is, but again, Brett wasn't going anywhere.
That's true.
Like he was in.
But yeah, and then we have WrestleMania 11 to look forward to, and that's the main event is Lawrence Taylor and um, Bam Bam Bigelow. I think Diesel, is it Diesel and Shawn Michaels? Did they wrestle?
I don't remember.
Yeah, Diesel and Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart and Bob Backlund.
As a matter of fact, I don't know if I ever watched WrestleMania 11. I
I,
remember the
I
Lawrence
have,
Taylor thing, but
yeah, I've watched it. Oh, the roadie, Road Dog. He's with Jeff Jarrett in this one. He fights Razor. I remember this one because I was a big Razor fan, and he's in this one. The Undertaker wasn't at WrestleMania 10,
he was not.
so
They
no
mentioned
streak.
him though. They didn't mention him.
Well, there's that. So yeah, WrestleMania 11 looks okay except for the main event.
There you go.
But first we have Fall Brawl 96. That's War Games for WCW. And this will be our second year visiting WCW, at least their pay-per-view year. Because remember, we started with Fall Brawl.
Yep, we're on the season. Yeah, year 2.
And the WCW and WCW and NWO will face off in a War Games match. Due to the tensions caused by the NWO's presence, a modification to the traditional game match rules was made. Instead of both teams coming to ringside before the match, each side stayed backstage, and the participants entered one at a time. So, to me, that sounds like everybody's getting an entrance.
It does kind of sound that way, yeah.
Yeah. Some matches we might look forward to is Conan versus Juventus Guerrero. And we
Yep.
have Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho.
Okay.
And the Giant versus Randy Savage.
Looking good, looking good.
Yeah. So we'll see. But that is our Wrestling Rewind.
And on that note, I think we went over everything else. So, if you agree with anything, let us know in the comments below. And if you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're on our way to 500 subscribers. Thank you guys again. And was there anything else?
Just have a good night.
And until next time, top guys out.